What is up, everyone? Welcome to another live stream of F1 Fantasy Pole Position. And yes, your eyes do not deceive you. That says 3.5 hours. That's not right. That's 2.5 hours. So I'm going to change that because I'm doing the stream for 3.5 hours, but it will be 2.5 hours until the deadline. So let me change that because that's obviously incorrect. We'll do an hour 49 starting now. There we go. Perfect. 2.5 hours until the deadline live stream. Hope you guys are all doing quite well. Let me know in the chat if you can see and hear me. Hope you're all doing quite well. It is Saturday. We are here. 2.5 hours to go until the deadline live stream. And here is my current squad. It is petition to change the stream name to Marathon Stream. Maybe I should do that. Let's get that going. Marathon Stream. Marathon Austrian Grand Prix stream and QUALY Watchalong. All right, it has changed, Mr. Iceman. Whew. But yes, we will be going for 3.5 hours. We're going to do the 2.5 hours up until the deadline. And then we are going to do a sprint watch along because I have not done one this season. So let's get right into it here. Drop your questions, drop whatever. We got 2.5 hours fill. So we're going to be talking a lot, but if you are watching, if you are listening, if you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, don't forget to drop a like. We got some people in the chat. We got Mr. Iceman in the chat. We got Fevolution. We got Nicholas in the chat. Hopefully y'all are doing well. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. That way that we can share this marathon deadline stream with everyone in the F1 fantasy community. But yeah, we are, we're here and I have a lot of options to go to. Just letting everyone know that the rankings are on the screen right now. Were made after FP2 because, you know, FP3 just ended. So I couldn't really update it. It takes a little bit of time. So we will kind of talk through all of this over the next 2.5 hours. I keep saying it because it's kind of absurd to do this for 2.5 hours, but we're going to do it. And then we're going to be, doing a sprint quali. Austria not being a sprint is really messing me up, but quali watch along. Ethan's in the chat saying hi, Ewan. Squirrel's here. Hadjar in 20th isn't filling me with confidence, but I can only switch him with is Gasly, who seems to crash out every time he looks good for budget. Oh yes, the ultimate F1 fantasy troll is back. Pierre Gasly, he is in our thoughts. And yeah, the Sims seem to like him. I don't know if I like him that much, but we'll see how it goes. Mr. Iceman says, first question, did you get plenty of rest from us? I missed your content. Oh, sorry, Mr. Iceman. Yes, I have been traveling a little bit. I think the Monaco Grand Prix, I was in Malaga. Spain, I went to Dua Lipa. Canada, I was in Scotland. So it's been a little bit of inconvenient timing with the travel, but it has been super fun. Michael and Rebecca are in the chat. What is up, everyone? Glad to have you on board. William is here as well. That is great. Yeah, glad to see some familiar faces joining me bright and early because I will need all of y'all's energy for this marathon stream, but I'm looking forward to it. I haven't done this for a long time. João Pereira says, hey, mate, what do you think of Tsunoda? I like Yuki Tsunoda. I mentioned him on the transfer targets as a potential differential. We can go over here to the budget builder. Bada bing, bada boom. Where are we at? I think there is a bet going on between Rob and Michael. How many times I say this one doesn't count. Loosey-goosey maths in this live stream. But that I'm not going to count that one because I'm just clarifying the bet. So, João, I like Tsunoda. As you can see here, F1 Fantasy Tools, they are giving him a 57% chance of rising in price, 13% at the 0.6 million, which is 25 points. And then 44% at the 0.2 million, which is like 13 points. And I like him. I think that the Tsunoda could be a driver who has a big weekend. You've seen him in the practices now. He's looking pretty strong. He in the media day or yesterday after the racing or in the media day on Thursday, I can't remember which one, he was talking about how like already his preparation for this race has been the best of the season. He's feeling the most confident. So the vibes are good around Yuki, which kind of means that the vibes are good around Red Bull. And then we don't need to do the constructors too much, but pretty much all the A tier assets are looking good. So that's where I'm at. Mark is in the chat. What is up, Mark? Don't forget to drop a like, guys, if you are here, and subscribe if you are not subscribed. Look how close we are to 3,300. I want to get to 3,300 by the Austrian Grand Prix. That would be insane. I would really, really appreciate that. Justine is in the chat. Merc were shaky. I was either going Merc, Alonso, Sainz for a -10 or keeping Kick and swapping Leclerc, Colapinto for Russell, Alonso. I'm not willing to go Ferrari for a -10, so I think I keeping Kick. Yeah, Kick have been in my thoughts for a little bit these past few days. If you guys follow me on X at F1 Fantasy Ewan, you'll know that I had a whole kind of like final fix strategy with Max Verstappen for this weekend. And I think the strategy still holds, but it may not be Max Verstappen we want to bring in. It may be Lando Norris, because he has looked super comfortable. Now, he did have 2 mistakes just now in FP3 on his first and his third push laps, but the second one was epic. He was a whole 10th clear of Oscar, which in today's qualifying is pretty big, but it will just come down to Q3. There was a stat going around in the F1 community, F1 fantasy community, saying that like Lando is out qualifying or has outpaced Oscar in like a bunch of the free practices and like almost every Q1 and Q2. But then in Q3 is when Oscar out qualifies him, and that's making the difference with like the dirty air and stuff like that. So yeah, keeping Kick is a fine idea. I don't feel great about swapping any of the A tier constructors right now. So I'm kind of thinking I might be dropping down into the tier B right now. Joshua's in the chat saying, what's up? Ethan, who do you like out of Sainz or Ocon? Well, in one of my builds, I can get to Ocon and I'm 0.1 short of Sainz. So for my team specifically, it's Ocon because I can't get the Sainz, but I do prefer Sainz this weekend. Williams look pretty good. We got hi, you in the chat. Hello, what are you going with? Asked James. So I found this handy dandy team over here, James. I'll just give people a little bit of a preview. So the way I kind of do the team calculator on F1 Fantasy Tools, which if you have not signed up for, you can use promo code UN50, get 50% off your first month with them. I kind of go with what's the highest expected points team, what's the highest expected price change team, and I try to kind of find a balance here. So this top team here, McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Tsunoda, Alonso, Hadjar, Lawson, that's the top scoring points team. I always set this to force no penalties as well, and I've got 3 free transfers because I've got 3 free transfers, so taking a -10 would mean like that's a mini wild card at that point. So top scoring points team, 235.6. Top budget team is 0.281 increase in million, which would be McLaren, Kick, Russell, Alonso, Hadjar, Hulkenberg. And then this middle team right here is something I found. McLaren, Aston Martin, Piastri, Russell, Alonso, Hadjar, Hulkenberg. And this really caught my eye. It leaves me 6 million or 6.4 million in the bank. And we can just build this team here real quick. So take out all of these bozos here, put in some Aston Martin. What was the other one? I already forgot. And Mr. Fernando Alonso, right? And where'd you go, Fernando? There you are. So 6.4 million means that I can final fix to anyone if I want. And I'm not anticipating having to use the final fix, but say Lando or Mac, like say Lando is going all out in Q1 for some reason because Lando is just doing Lando things and qualifies 17th. Having that amount of money in the bank is really handy. And now I've got Russell on a rise, Piastri on a rise, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Hadjar all likely to rise, McLaren on a rise, and Aston Martin as well. I'm really leaning towards this team right now. It's a little bit different than the template, which is really tempting. Obviously, I'm kind of like, I've got like this itch that I have to scratch. You saw that earlier with the final fix strategy that I was touting earlier this week, which I still believe in. And I guess this is like a mini variation on that. Instead of Kick, it's Aston Martin. Aston Martin looked pretty good. Lance Stroll Q3? Is he going to out qualify Fernando Alonso for the first time in 25 races? I don't really know, but we are going to find out. Getting back into the chat here. So this is kind of where my head's at. I'll leave this on the screen. You guys can take a look at it. Nixie's in chat saying hello. James asking what you're doing, mate. JD, Ferrari or Mercedes? That's really tough. If you have a luxury transfer, maybe Mercedes. Ferrari tried their flying laps in FP3 a little bit later on, but the race pace of Ferrari right now is just not up to snuff. Mercedes are 0.2 faster than them, according to the practice debrief data. So I'm not loving Ferrari this week, JD. Petter's in the chat. What is up, Petter? Hey, you and my team is pretty okay for now. Might not just move out Lawson for Sainz and Ferrari to Mercedes, or should I be the only one with Limitless this weekend? The problem with Limitless this weekend, and it's not a bad option, it's just there are so many overtakes on offer at the Red Bull Ring, Petter, that like it's the 6th most overtakes of the last 3 seasons. So I really don't know if you're going to build the best delta, but you could score a boatload of points. But you are 2 races away from getting to Spa, where you could use the Limitless on a sprint weekend. So yeah, that's it's definitely different, but I'm not sure if it's where I would go this weekend. Nixie says, I've totally switched off from F1 Fantasy since I've been on holiday. Nice. Where were you, Nixie? Nice to have that after going Norris ×2 and Lawson in Canada. What are we doing this week? Triple McLaren, keep Ferrari. I guess I could end up with, I guess the only other thing I could look at with this lineup is when I go Russell. I see I can't even get to Verstappen. So that's really it. So I would just be kind of banking on final fixing in Verstappen or Norris with Piastri. But this lineup feels a little bit safer than what I was kind of promoting earlier in the week. But if you can get to triple McLaren, I mean, what would that look like? You'd have to bring in Lando. And because I have 114.5 million, so I'm 0.6 short. So you need 151 or 115.1 million to get to this McLaren. I mean, if I brought Hadjar and put in Kick as well, I'd have enough money to bring in Bortoletto, but triple Kick, triple McLaren, who knows? I'm not so sure about that, Nixie, but that's an option for you. Nicholas says, going to be difficult to pick second constructor. FP3 was full of track evolution and different tire wear when the laps were set. Only thing I'm convinced about is that Alpine is mad. Yeah, I'm probably going to get banned in France now. Thanks, Nicholas. But yes, FP3 sims are going to be interesting. I totally agree. I can get to triple McLaren, but would have to sell Hulk and cannot get Alonso. Don't love that. Yeah. Don't love that too much, Mr. Iceman. But it's not bad. Nah, probably not. I mean, yeah, Hulk is just 0.6 million guaranteed. Like, I think one of the non-negotiables for me this week is Hulk and Alonso are going to be in my team because I need that sweet, sweet budget rise. I know there's been a lot of talk kind of in the F1 Fantasy Tools Discord this week about points versus budget and stuff. I'm still willing to go with the fact that budget will eventually pay off. It gets a little bit like this is kind of where you really have to grit your teeth and get to this budget, because right now, if all goes well with that team I was showing y'all earlier with where was it? Mr. Russell. Where'd you go? Russell and Aston Martin and then Isaac Hadjar. Where'd you go? This team is like 0.6, 0.6, 0.6, 0.6. Could be looking at like 3.3 million in budget gain if everything goes right, which it will not because it's F1 Fantasy and that's what this game does to us. But this is a great balance of budget and points for my team. And the more I look at it, the more I fall in love with it. So let me know. I'm going to put up a poll here. Start a poll. Aston Martin or Kick Sauber? Aston, Kick. Let me know, people. Oh, hold on. Got to take that away. I've got this new chat going on here, so I don't know. Let's see. Take that away. Start poll. Aston or Kick, people. Let me know. All right, all right. I'm gonna kind of rattle through some questions here because I've fallen behind. Should I swap Ferrari for Mercedes? Yesterday, I would have said yes, but stuff overnight comes out. Ferrari didn't look awful, but like Hamilton and Leclerc, the race pace is bad. The qualifying's not that good. It seemed like they could barely keep the cars on the track. I think I would go with Mercedes. Hi, you and ready for another weekend of F1 Fantasy, says Ben. Yes, I am. Footballer forever. What's your thoughts? I can switch Hulk/Hadjar to Antonelli/Gasly, but I don't feel good when I replace Hulkenberg, but I don't have enough budget for Hulk. Should I go different? I am 2218 global. I really like Hulkenberg and Hadjar. That's really good budget gain. And you know what's going to happen here, guys? Pierre Gasly is going to troll us to death once again in F1 Fantasy. Let's go here, select all the races. We've done this before. We did it again. Look, bang, bang, DNF, bang, bang, DNF, bang, bang. What's next? Say it with me. A DNF. And it's probably going to be the weekend he doesn't DNF, and then we all jump on him from Silverstone, and then he'll DNF. I don't think he even started the race last season, right? He like had a gearbox issue or water pressure issue and just went out. So, yeah. I don't know if I can go there. I don't think I can be hurt like that again. Squirtle says, what makes Williams look strong when Sainz was complaining about the low speed? They were mentioning it a little bit. So Williams looked really good in FP1 yesterday. And you know what? Let me get up the FP3 results here real quick so we can look at those together. And then they looked not great in FP2, like 16th and 17th. And we go over here, 14th and 15th again. So something has changed at Williams this weekend. And I don't know if they're just going to go back to their FP1 setup and then all of a sudden they'll be hunky-dory, looking good. But the practice is fine. Like the race simulation has them in 6th. The qualification has them in 6th as well. So now I'm trying to think about if I'm saying 6th weirdly. You know, it's like when you say one of those words over and over again. Bailey says, I have the same team except Kick over Aston Martin. Yeah, it's really close for me. I mean, not in points, but just like Kick are a little bit more, well, not a little bit more. They are pretty much locked into a price rise this week as we go over here. So odds are 99%. Actually, so I love F1 Fantasy Tools, but the best thing about it is you can kind of go about however you want to look at it. And I like to kind of do the required points. So as you can see here, Kick, if you can see that on the screen, I hope you guys can. Yes, you can. Okay. Negative 53 points for a 0.6 price rise. Aston Martin needs 1 point. So a DNF could kind of scupper these plans a little bit. But in the simulations, which if we go to the team calculator here, for Aston Martin, 22.5 points, predicted points. Kick down at 9.1. Now, there are pit stop points to come, and we know that Kick have improved. They've got 2 of the fastest pit stops this season, so that's not a bad bet at all, but I think I am leaning a little bit more Aston Martin now. There's a group chat on X, and I would, people were talking about Aston Martin. There are 200 people watching right now, and there's only 25 likes, so if you guys can do me a favor, hit that like button. I will greatly appreciate it. I'm here for the entire stream that up until the deadline, and then we're doing a sprint qualifying. So let's shoot for like 100 likes at least in the first hour because we're gonna have people watching. It's gonna be great. And yeah, we're 4 away from 3,300. So if you are not one of those people, you know what they say, the first 3,300 subscribers are your most important 3,300. JD says, thanks for your thoughts. You are welcome. Seems like Aston is a better buy than Kick this week. Tempted by them and Sonoda. Yeah, I'm also tempted by Sonoda. I'm so excited for this week's race, says Bailey. That would be swapping out Colapinto, Lawson, Ferrari for Verstappen, Bortoletto, Aston. Ooh, I like that, Gua. That's kind of nice. Dan says, which one do you recommend, Ferrari, McLaren, and Piastri, or Kick, McLaren plus Piastri and Verstappen? Maybe the second one. I think I am in a little bit of a different mood this week to kind of get a little bit differential. Nixie says, I have 117 something in money. Wish I had 120 for McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Russell. Yes, that would be very, very nice. I'm quite a bit away from there. That's why I'm kind of chasing budget a little bit this week. Wildcard team suggestions. Let me know your budget nudges, and we will go over that together. Joshua says, if I'm not Norris, would you bring in Piastri or Russell as your second driver? If you can afford it, sure. Yeah, that's really nice. Should I swap Colapinto with Gasly for a -10? No, I don't think so. I would just say, like, Colapinto still has an okay shot of going up 0.2. I know Gasly needs literally 0 points, but when we get into kind of taking hits to move around back markers, that's when the ultimate pain in F1 fantasy comes along. Over 3,300 subscribers. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate that. New milestone unlocked. Appreciate it a ton. But yeah, when you're swapping around these back markers, when like the budget is not super locked into Rise, like when you're like within DNF range, especially with a team like Alpine that has had a tendency to DNF, it's really scary because if you take a -10 to go from Colapinto to Gasly, and Gasly gets that DNF and hits you with the 0.6 million price drop, like that is, oof, man, that is bad. That feels really, really rough. I can't even, it gives me mini pain even thinking about you doing that, Joel. Nicholas says, Mercedes or Ferrari? Leaning Mercedes right now. Can't trust Stroll, so kick by default, says Squirrel. Alrighty. Tempted by Piastri, Russell, Aston Bill, but will need to take a -10. Worth it? I mean, if are you coming off of like Ferrari and Mercedes? It might not be worth it there. McLaren, Aston, Piastri, Norris, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Bortoleto. Yeah, I like that, Ben. I like that quite a bit. But will Russell and Aston Martin outscore Mercedes and Gasly / Bortoleto? So say Russell gets 20, Aston Martin gets 20, just conservatively or whatever. That's 40. Mercedes they'll score 40 by themselves. But Gasly and Bortoleto are risky. Bortoleto's looked really good. If I had 4 free transfers, I'd probably get Bortoleto in instead of Hadjar, to be honest, and save myself a little bit extra money. Like, if I did bring in Bortoleto for a -10, and this is exactly what I was just saying, going against what I was saying, but now I have 8.6 million, and I'd still be short. If Bortoleto allowed me to get up to Lando from a final fix of Russell or something like that, it would be a little bit more tempting. But Hadjar is steady Eddie. He needs a little bit of points to rise up this week. I understand that. It's not as easy as it has been, but it's a pretty good overtaking track. And then on Thursday's media day, Hadjar was talking about how he loves this track, how you can attack it differently. Gives me enough confidence to keep him in the squad. I think I could see myself bringing Hadjar out of the squad at Silverstone for the first time in a while, but 2 points for a good price rise, 8 points for a great price rise. If we go to the statistics, the dude is just kind of money right now in F1 fantasy. Like 6, 12, 16, 1. Yeah, there's a 0 there in Miami, but it's for Lawson. It's pretty aggressive, but I like that avails. I like that quite a bit. I'm actually going to move this chat box down a little bit. Let's see here. Can I do that? Is it going to let me? I don't think it is. Fortunate. Am I back? Am I fortunate? Am I back? Am I back? I think I'm back. Am I back? I think I'm back. It said chat disconnected, but I think I am now back. Sorry. Yes. Okay. Whew. 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 That was a little bit nerve-wracking, but there we go. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to catch back up. Sorry if I missed anyone there. Kind of freaked out. Thought I was losing the chat, and that would have been bad. Okay, if I change it. There we go. Perfect. Lawson Bortoleto. Okay, we talked about that. Last season, I put Gasly in twice in DNF both races. This year, same thing. Every time I put him in the DNFs. Yes. Hi, units. FPL Daxter here. Oh, what is up? What is up, FPL Daxter? Good to have you in the chat. They were terrible. FP2 complained about the wind, June. Oh, thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. Jackson, what is up? McLaren, Ferrari, Piastri, Hadjar, Lawson. Bortoleto, Hulkenberg currently. Thinking of going to McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Hadjar, Sonoda, Hulkenberg, Alonso. 3 transfers available. Thoughts? Okay, I'm going to look this up again. McLaren, Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, Hadjar, Tsunoda. I like that. I like that a lot, Jackson. So Hadjar to Gasly, tempting. Oof, I don't know about that. That makes me scary. What is better? Or that sounds scary to me, Chris. Harry, what is better? McLaren, Mercedes, Sainz, or McLaren, Aston, Russell? Both with Piastri, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, Alonso. Both allow me to roll a transfer. Well, you're a lucky duck there, Harry. I personally prefer the Aston Martin and Russell build. Is Stroll an option? Not for me, mostly because I'm pretty sure it's really hard for him. He's like 99% to get a 0.6 drop. So the risk of a DNF and Stroll just doing Stroll things is not enough for me to bring him in avails. Joe says, morning, Ewan. I'm at 116.5 and figure I need 2 races to get to the budget for a Piastri, Russell, McLaren, Mercedes build. So I'm not planning on a B tier constructor. Nice. Patience is a virtue, Joe. Good call by you. I still have Mercedes, but I'm watching it a lot with Ferrari. What do you think? It's really hard. I think if you have Ferrari, it's pretty tempting to move to Mercedes just with how they looked in Canada and how they've been okay. Russell topping the times in FP1, looking pretty strong the rest of the weekend. I think it's easier if you already have Mercedes to just stick with Mercedes and then not move. But if you have Ferrari, that's the tough one because you know the pit stop points are going to be there. That's really nice. But are we gonna... It doesn't feel as strong. Like last week, obviously in Canada, Mercedes were showing us that they were having a good weekend and a lot of us didn't move to Ferrari. So a lot of us might be having a little bit of like hindsight phantom pain about this or whatever. And yeah, I think it's probably worth holding, especially when you're sticking in the tier A kind of constructors anyway. But if you were dropping down to tier B, then I'd probably like it a little bit more. Micah says, what time do the FP3 sims release on F1 Fantasy Tools usually? Whenever Ryder can get to it, but I'm not sure. I think the dude lives in Australia. So it could be tough because it's 2 p.m. here in Germany right now. And we are still kind of rocking and rolling with, so what would that be? Almost 10 p.m., 11 p.m. in Australia. So we'll see. Just ended 30 minutes ago. Ali says, I'm 116 million, rank 300. You think I should risk it with Aston Martin? Depends what the rest of your team is, but if you're pretty happy with your top 300 rank, which you should be, I don't think it's a bad idea to play it safe. Draw Laura Ortiz says, -10, Lawson for Alonso. Yes, I like that, -10. Why do you prefer Mercedes over Ferrari after the last practice? So Mercedes went out and did their push laps earlier than Ferrari. So the track was maybe a little bit more evolved for Ferrari to look a little bit better. But every time Ferrari popped up on the screen, it was Leclerc or Hamilton going wide. And the practice debrief data from yesterday shows us that that's qualifying. The race simulation pace shows that Mercedes were 0.2 quicker than Ferrari, and that's where you scored the most points on Sunday. Wasn't Gasly also very unhappy with the steer at 2 turns in FP3? I didn't hear a ton of that, but maybe. I didn't. I was kind of in and out there a little bit. Nages says budget 115 million. Okay. All right. You were asking about the wild card, Nages. So let's figure this out. I'm going to build you a wild card team. Boom. And we're going to use the wild card here. So the best teams that they're selecting for points is McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Tsunoda, Alonso, Stroll, Lawson. Not getting a lot of budget, though. So what we would do here is we'll eliminate Alpine. We'll make sure that you have to have McLaren in there. So this team is kind of nice here. McLaren, Kick, Piastri, Russell, Alonso, Hadjar, Hulkenberg. But this is almost a team you would wildcard out of, maybe not into. So that's another option there as well. But I kind of like this team. This is a team that I'm honestly kind of looking at as well. As you can see, like I've got this one up here. I'm kind of between the Aston Martin builds here. So there you go, Nages. Hi, Ewan. Piastri, Colapinto, Hadjar, Lawson, Hulkenberg, Mercedes, McLaren, 3 transfers, 7.9 in the bank. Lawson to Alonso. Any other thoughts? I would maybe try and get Colapinto out of there. I really don't feel that great about Alpine this weekend. Oz says, hi, I'm thinking of this strat. Do let me know if it will work. McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Hulkenberg, Bortoleto, Alonso, Hadjar, and have 5.5 million spare. I'm thinking to final fix Verstappen if quality goes better for him. Love that. Yeah, I was a pretty big proponent of that earlier this week, so go for it. Caleb says, Bortoleto over Gasly, Gasly over Sainz. Bortoleto over Gasly, Sainz over Gasly for me. Frederick, think Norris plus Piastri plus McLaren plus kick with autopilot could be a move. It did kind of cross my mind, even with just this Piastri-Russell move as we were like coming out of FP2 last night. I probably won't use it now because I'd almost like prefer to use that on like a sprint weekend and maybe when I can get both McLarens in, since like if I could bring in Lando, if I did the kick Sauber, I'd probably wait to have triple McLaren. That's where I would probably use it because that'd be really nice. Grant says, currently 117.6 budget with 2 transfers on Norris, Lawson, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Hadjar with McLaren, Ferrari. I've got a good chance of going to double A constructors. Thoughts on what I should do? So if you go Norris, yeah, so you've got a pretty good base right there. Lawson to Bortoleto is not a bad shout. Lawson to like an Ocon or a Sainz isn't a bad shout either. So gotta have had Verstappen just for those on-track pirouettes. Yeah, yes, they're very nice. But Grant, I think you're in a good spot here. Just I would try to get Lawson out. For Hulkenberg, you already got Hulkenberg, Alonso, and Hadjar, who are probably the 3 best B tier assets. Norris down to Piastri, and you could go Lawson to Tsunoda. That's kind of spicy. Tom says, thoughts on this as a differential team? Verstappen, Leclerc, Alonso, Hadjar, Sainz, and McLaren, Aston. That's very differential, but I do kind of like it, Tom. So you're not going to hear any complaints from me. Timo, Mercedes, McLaren, Piastri, Alonso, Hadjar, Sainz, Hulkenberg over Ferrari, McLaren, Piastri, Alonso, Hadjar, Colapinto, Hulkenberg. I think I will be going with the first option there. Piastri, Alonso, Hadjar, Sainz, Hulkenberg. Okay. I got past the streaming, so that's good. Or the little, okay, I'm back. Thank you, everybody. Perfect. Best team for 112 in your opinion? Well, considering that this team is 108 million, I'd probably go with this one. Leica, hopefully that helps. Having AN, do you not worry about Stroll DNFing or something? A little bit. But if they both get into Q3, that's 10 points right off the bat, plus whatever they gain. So a DNF can probably get us by. Alonso's looking okay. Double Aston could invite some pain, but I'm kind of trying to hit that balance of point scoring and budget building at the same time. So you got to take a little bit of a risk. Going with kick pretty much guarantees that I'm getting that rise. So that is tempting as well. Like if we go Aston Martin here to kick, this gives me 8.4, which leaves me a little bit of room for a cheeky Yuki Tsunoda. But that's 4 transfers. So I don't love that. -10. -10 for Hadjar to Tsunoda is different than like Hadjar to Gasly or Colapinto or something like that. But I guess there's another option. See, I knew I was going to talk myself into a twist with my transfers. Okay, let's see here. Adidas says, I have the exact team except Leclerc for Russell, or have kick/S Martin and have Leclerc for Leclerc. I would like to have Verstappen in that team, Adina. All right. Hi, Ewan. Can you fix my mess of a team? McLaren, Williams, Norris, Hulkenberg, Sainz, Lawson, Hadjar. Williams to Aston Martin. You could go Norris to Piastri, Lawson to Bortoleto, and maybe that will get you enough money to get Mercedes in your team. Joe says, I have got Ferrari, but I'm leaning to change to Mercedes. Yeah, it's tough. That's going to be a tough call over the next 2 hours. Madalena Cecchini says, my second team has Piastri, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Colapinto, Leclerc with McLaren and Racing Bulls. As constructors, I want to swap Sorry. Um, I want to swap Colapinto, Leclerc, red Racing Bulls. Is it better to get Aston, Russell, Alonso, or Alonso, Bortoleto, Mercedes? I would say I do kind of prefer that Alonso, Bortoleto, Mercedes build there, actually, now that I'm looking at it. So I don't mind that at all. But I don't think you can go wrong with either. Let's see. How is Piastri, Sainz, Hadjar, Alonso, Hulkenberg, McLaren, Mercedes for -10? Yeah. I mean, you got the 2 A constructors, so you should be fine there, Yash. Mr. Iceman is giving tips on the audio. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully it clears up. I could plug it in and plug it out. Hopefully it is getting better. He left a like on both phones. Thank you. Sunday will be a few degrees warmer. Might be enough for a reason to stick with Ferrari. Yeah, it could be. That's not a bad shout. I'm going to get my other team that I liked a little bit more back on here, just in case I black out from talking to you guys for so long and then forget to actually hit submit. Does anyone here play F1 Fantasy Predict? We can go over that in a little bit as well. And we should maybe go a little bit more in depth on this Aston versus Kick stuff. Fuma says, I think I'll just stick with Piastri, Hulk, Alonso, Hadjar, McLaren, and Ferrari. That change, the only change being Lawson to Sainz. I love that. Why Sainz? Williams look okay, and he has a kind of lower points threshold than some other tier B assets. Evolution, Piastri, Verstappen, Alonso, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, McLaren, Aston uses up all my budget. Yeah, but that's great. I mean, you're going to get a boatload of points and quite a healthy amount of budget. Jeremy is in the chat. What is up, Jeremy? Hey, Ewan. Wow, mega streaming. Yes, the marathon stream continues. We are going. Kits, opinion on Hadjar, George, Sainz for Fernando, Hulkenberg, McLaren, and Mercedes. Hadjar, George. I love that because that's a team I got on the screen, and I like that quite a lot. Ross is in the chat. What is up, Ross? Hey, dude, love the content. Thank you. I have 114.8 million. Piastri, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Lawson, Alonso, McLaren, Ferrari, 2 free transfers. Please, can I have some help on what to do? Lawson down. Yeah, Lawson to like Bortoleto or Gasly. And then you're good, I think. You don't really have to change too much. You could go Ferrari to Mercedes as well. Florian, thinking of holding Ferrari and swapping Lawson for Bortoleto and carry 1 transfer over. Or is the Aston/Russell one better? Whatever one you prefer, if you have a stronger feeling towards either one, Florian, I don't mind either or. I always love rolling a transfer. This lineup here does unfortunately caused me to not roll a transfer. But there are other options I have. Like I could stick with Ferrari and just bring in the Ocon and Alonso kind of vibe. This is another option I've been looking at. So let's go to the team calculator, build that one out real quick. Let's see here. If I have to include Lawson, what are they predicting here? Let's see, 229.9 and 2.21 in budget. Also, you guys, there's been 210 votes for the Aston or Kick Sauber. Aston has 51% and Kick has 49%. So pretty much as close as it can come. But thank you for interacting on the poll. Yeah, so this is another okay build. 229 points. That's right bang smack in the middle. 2.21. So I'm losing out on 0.6 million budget, but I'm gaining 10 points. That seems like a pretty fair trade-off. Don't mind it at all. Yeah, I love rolling transfers, Florian, so that's where I'd go. Justine, thoughts on... You guys are blowing up the chat, and I love it, so thank you very much. If you are typing a question and I get to it and you haven't liked the stream, you could do me a favor, hit that like button. We're almost at 100 likes. So that would be fantastic. Almost over 1,000 views already as well. So people are tuning in. I'm going to take a quick drink of this. Liquid number 1. We'll see how many we get through on this marathon Austrian Grand Prix deadline stream. Thoughts of keeping Charles instead of swapping to Russell, probably losing 0.3 million, but FP3 made me slightly unsure of Mercedes. I then have 3 transfers in Silverstone. I love rolling transfers. If there's going to be one Ferrari driver that does it, it's going to be Charles Leclerc. It's not going to be Lewis Hamilton. Like, Lewis Hamilton is in F1 fantasy no man's land. Laura Ortiz, Piastri, Hülkenberg, Alonso, Verstappen, Hadjar, McLaren, Sauber. What'd you think? I like it a lot. I've been talking about it. So the thing that I was talking about earlier this week is if you go down that route, Laura, you can. So I personally liked it because it gives me enough money. Where was the final option here? I think even if I leave Colapinto in, it leaves me 25.7 million in the bank, and I can get to Lando Norris, or Max Verstappen with a final fix. But I could bring out Alonso, Hülkenberg, or Hadjar and get to Norris, or not. I could bring out Hülkenberg or Hadjar and get to Norris on a final fix if I needed to, or Verstappen if I bring out Alonso, or if I bring out Colapinto. And then you get all this mega budget, but then on Sunday, you're getting Max Verstappen's points. So that's an option that I've been playing with as well this week. 100 Joku, Piastri signs Alonso, Hülkenberg, Bortoleto, McLaren, Ferrari. Should I change Ferrari to Mercedes for a -10? Probably not. I don't like that. Why choose AM over Merc? Just joined, so sorry if someone asked this. Because it enables me to run Russell and build budget at the same time, and it seems like a kind of best of both worlds for me, Study Master. G. Elford. Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying Langford whenever you're in the chat. Hi, Piastri, Alonso, Hülkenberg, Hadjar, McLaren, Ferrari with 12.3 for the 5th driver. What's your latest thoughts on Gasly versus Sainz versus Ocon versus Bortoleto, or keep Colapinto in the transfer? Sorry if I missed it. Joined the stream late. That is A-OK, G. Elford. Sainz over Ocon over Bortoleto over Gasly. For me, I don't love Colapinto. Pretty sure he's coming out of my squad, no matter what happens here. Gua says, still super torn between the following: Piastri, McLaren, Alonso, Hadjar, option 1. Or Piastri, okay, plus option 1, Russell, Hülkenberg, Aston, or option 2, Verstappen, Bortoleto, Aston. Hülkenberg gets you the guaranteed 0.6 rise, Gua, but I expect Verstappen to outscore Russell. Hülkenberg, Bortoleto could be close. Ewan, do you think Hadjar can get to 8 points and get 0.6 increase? I'm sorry, getting angry Frenchman on your back. I do think Hadjar can get to the 8 points. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle. Racing Bulls didn't look that great in Canada, I admit, but Hadjar was talking about how much he liked the track on Thursday during the media day, and that gives me a little bit of confidence. He had that spin in FP3 just now. He's kind of like chuckling it off. But I think Racing Bulls are kind of like their race simulation, so that's 7th best in the field, and their qualification is 8th best. So you always kind of like something like that in F1 fantasy. Like, I would expect Hadjar to be able to overtake the Alpines if they do outqualify them today. So that's always nice as well. Always nice to have something like that in your back pocket. So yeah, I think Hadjar can get there. Lawson plus Sainz to Gasly plus Hülkenberg. Can you do Lawson plus... Can't just go Lawson to Hülkenberg, obviously. I would maybe even go Bortoleto. I'm really scared about Gasly, guys. I can't get over it. Mercedes over Ferrari and Gasly over Colapinto? Yes, to both. Sankalp says, got 2 free transfers, 3.2 million in the bank. Current team is Piastri, Hadjar, Alonso, Hülkenberg, Bortoleto, McLaren, Ferrari. Piastri, Hadjar, Alonso, Hülkenberg, Bortoleto, McLaren. You have a really good team there. You don't really have to fix too much. You could go Bortoleto up to Esteban Ocon if you had to do something. But Ocon needs 8 points for a 0.2 million rise. Bortoleto needs less than that. And Sauber looks pretty solid. I don't know. You got a pretty nice team there. I no notes, Sankalp, to be honest. Mark Burleson, what is up? Sorry if you already answered this, but do you think it's a no-brainer if someone can afford? Yes. As someone without a brain, I can tell you that I would do that move. Yes. Thoughts on triple McLaren with Aston? I like it. Says from Iced. Stanley, hi. McLaren kick plus Piastri, Russell, Sonoda, Hulk, Hajar. Thanks. Yeah, that's definitely different, but I do like it. Sonoda could be sneaky for a 0.6 price rise. Zuby, planning for Piastri, Sainz, Hajar, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Mercedes, McLaren with 3 transfers. Do you want me to plan that for you, or that's what you're planning to do? Because I like that lineup already. So go for it, Zuby. What's the best team we have come up till now? I still really like my team. I still really like this little George Russell team I've got kind of firing along here real quick. Like, what are we looking at in George Russell? 86% chance at 0.3 price rise. Yeah, I'm still kind of a fan of this lineup. I think it's a little bit different. Hopefully, I haven't been checking X now for like 47 minutes since, but if we go to the elite data here, like Russell's in 6.6% of teams. We've got Aston Martin in 0.2% of the global top 500. And then Hajar, Piastri, Alonso, Hulkenberg. So like I've got 4 of the most popular assets in the game, or 5 if we're including McLaren, which we should be. So that kind of covers me off in the template, and then getting a little bit different here with Russell and Aston Martin with some sneaky price rises could get me a little bit different from the rest of the squad. Did I already do that? Did I already answer your question, Ross? I can't remember. I think I did. I know I'm getting through it a little bit slowly. Study Master says, I do predict. Okay, so, okay, I'm going to get through the next 5 questions, and then we'll go into some F1 predict for a little bit. Will Alonso manage a full race without incidents? It's very warm and he is getting old. I think he'll be okay. What do you think of Hajar to Gasly? I don't like that move, Chris. How's Piastri, Hajar, Alonso, Bortoleto, Hulkenberg, and McLaren plus Mercedes? Yes. Yes, 1,000 times yes, Study Master. I like that. Would you do -10 for Leclerc to Russell? Probably not. Big Papa Bob. Great YouTube name. Having AM, should we not worry about Stroll? Yes. But the Sims are kind of saying that Aston's on it this weekend. Like if we look here, Lance Stroll just popping in a little P8, Fernando Alonso P12. And when you see their race pace, their qualifying pace is right up here. And their race simulation is fine as well. Plus bringing in Alonso means that outside of a DNF, you're going to get that 0.6 price rise. So I really like that. So my head hath been turned by Aston Martin this weekend. Kit says, I can run McLaren, triple Mercedes, Hulk, Alonso, and Gasly. What do you think? That is fantastic. I like that a lot. Yeah. Gasly. Yeah. I would maybe even bring in Bortoleto instead of Gasly, just from like a safety aspect. Lawson, Colapinto, or Bortoleto. Bortoleto for me, Henrique? Is that right? Am I saying that right? Currently 3rd in predicts. I've already traded out Lawson to Alonso. Do I trade Colapinto to Bortoleto? If it's for free, you can do it, but if it's for a hit, nah. Hey, buddy, best of luck this weekend. By the way, Canada Grand Prix in real life was incredible. Highly recommend. Oh, jealous, Narbitayar. Yep, it's on the list, as is the other 22 Grand Prix that I have not been to yet. Although I guess it's 23, but I'm going to Spa in like 4 weeks, so I'm pretty excited about that. Daniel says, I already have Piastri. Should I be stupid to swap him for Norris? It's not stupid, but I do think it's a little unnecessary. I still think it's so close, and Lando is still so easy to get those Q3 mistakes. So yeah, that's kind of frustrating a little bit. We're at 94 likes, guys, and there's 200 of you guys watching. So I just need 6 of you that haven't hit the like button to hit the like button to get over 100, and that will be hunky-dory for me. Derek, missed FP3, need to... Where'd you go, Derek? Miss FP3 needs to get Lawson out. I want signs, but he limits my mobility when prepping for Limitless in Spa. I see Borletto has been in and around top 10. Did he look as good as Yeah, I think he did look pretty good. I was pretty impressed. Sauber seemed to be kind of clicking on all cylinders right now and firing away, so I don't mind it at all. Karan says, hi, Ewan. I have 2 transfers and 114.5 million in the bank. My current team is Piastri, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Lawson, Colpinto with McLaren, Ferrari. Looking to maximize budget, take -10 to get an Alonso, Russell, and Kick. Thoughts? Yes, I like it. I don't love the -10, but I'm doing a very similar thing over here. Although I would like to bring in Aston instead. So that's that over there. But yeah, this is kind of what I'm thinking right now, Karan. All right, we're going to do a little bit of predicts, because I know there are some people that play it. So thank you for liking the stream. That was like, you guys are so interactive. I really appreciate it. Thank you for supporting me. So predicts. I'm pretty sure I already did this. It did not save, apparently. Oh well. All right. Predict the podium for the 2025 Austrian Grand Prix. Who wants to help me out with this? Let's see. I'm going to go Lando. I think he's got a strong weekend. And I'm going to spice it up with Max and then Oscar. I'm going to apply that chip right there. Who will take pole position? Lando Norris. See, I did already do some of this. Who will qualify highest for the Grand Prix? Pierre Gasly or Frank Colapinto? Pretty sure it's got to be Pierre Gasly. Will Red Bull get 2 cars into Q3? I say no, but I'm actually going to say yes now. I'm going to change my answer. Who will set the fastest pit stop time? I'm going to do Ferrari because, yeah, you know. Although, how much is a kick? Kick is 18? Nah, I'll just stick with Ferrari. Who will set the fastest lap of the race? Could be Lando Norris because he's going to win the race. Who will finish the race ahead? Hamilton, Antonelli, Alonso, Berriman, or none? Who will finish the race ahead? Oh, they're going to say like all 4 of them are DNF? No, that's not going to happen. Will it be more than 1 safety car or VSC during the Grand Prix? No. And then I think all 20 are going to finish. And I think Haas will beat out Racing Bulls this weekend. So that's kind of that there. We'll go back to that in a little bit as well. But I know we're all mostly here for F1 Fantasy. Okay. Manage my team. Here's the rest of the squads. I guess I need to talk or get into some of those other squads eventually as well. But we are 1 hour and 35 minutes away from the deadline. Whew, man, that is great. Loving life right now. Thank you for sticking around. We're almost 1 hour into the mega stream, and it's going quite well. How are you guys doing? Is everyone still got their energies up? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Jeremy says, I'm tempted to keep Ferrari because of the issues that Mercs can have in the heat. Saves the transfer and will likely get better pit stop points. Yeah, I think if Mercedes had put together a better FP3 or Ferrari had kind of looked a little worse, I would probably be more tempted to flip it to Mercedes. But I think I'm just going to take that option out of my hand and go to a tier B constructor for this weekend. Fevolution says, would you run triple McLaren with Sauber as a second constructor? Yeah. So the thing is, if you're going with the Sauber, you're doing it for budget gains. But then you've got Lando in there, who is pretty much definitely going to fall in price again. So it kind of feels like you're playing both sides a little bit, which I don't love. I would rather like kind of commit to one thing over the other. No, it is actually just sparkling water. Boring sparkling water, Chris. Saying moonshine from a jam jar. No, but yeah, we have a lot of these jars in my house. So, but thank you for reminding me to hydrate. Urban says, I can get Piastri, Norris, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Hadjar, McLaren, Aston. Was thinking of 3x for Norris. Thoughts? And then Piastri with a 2x. Could be a really strong weekend to do that. The chip is probably more powerful at sprint weekend, but if McLaren do look pretty on it, Lando's pace is kind of ominous, to be honest. Piastri had a pretty good lap and still was a 10th outside of him. So it could be a good weekend, and I'm always inclined to support differential thinking. Ethan, should I switch Mercedes around since it's hot and FP3 was not convincing? I guess it depends who you swap them out for. I don't think I'd swap them out for Ferrari. It just might be... I'm not sure if it's worth the transfer. Shane, I've been massively struggling with budget since the start of the season. I'm only at 101 points. Is it too late to just fully focus on budget gaining versus point scoring? That is rough, Shane. That is unfortunate. Let's see here. I think you can still find a way to get good point scoring assets that will also rise in budget. Like Nico Hulkenberg and Fernando Alonso and Carlos Sainz this weekend are all good options. Oscar Piastri, George Russell, McLaren and Mercedes will all rise. So you can stay afloat in the point scoring department while still picking up some budget here and there. Mr. Iceman says, will the FP3 sims come out? They were super late yesterday. They were. I'm going to check here. Let's go to the F1 Fancy Tools here. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to say vote. So in the F1 Fancy Tools Discord right now, there's a second constructor poll, 31 votes. Ferrari is up 55-45 on Mercedes. Let's see. Kit guarantees you good pit stop point is cheaper and can have double DF. You still get 0.6. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Oh, got to get back onto the stream here. So, I mean, we still got an hour and a half for those to come out. I would expect within the next hour, Writer will put them out. RJXOXO44 says, hey, I'm hoping to get some points this week, but not drop my cost cap. I've got Piastri, Hadjar, Alonso, Colapinto, Bortoleto, and McLaren. Should I do Mercedes or Red Bull? Because Max is looking good. See, we haven't talked about Red Bull a lot yet on the stream. And they do look okay, right? Like Tsunoda looks good. Max looks good. Ferrari or Red Bull could be a differential. I haven't really looked at a team with Red Bull, if I'm being honest. But that would get me into, see, it's not super exciting territory. It would give me Alonso and Sainz, which is kind of nice. And Red Bull is in 1% of the global top 500. So, yeah. Ross says, so would you say Mercedes constructor is better than having Russell, or would you have Russell and Kick / Aston constructor? I'm trying to build budget but score points too. So I'm trying to do the same thing as you, Ross, and I do, my gut is telling me that the Russell / Aston is the better way for my team to score some points and build budget this weekend. Jeremy says, going 3X or triple McLaren, triple Aston Martin plus Hulkenberg for my T3 team. Yes. Ooh. I don't mind that at all. Stroll I don't love because he's going to fall 0.6 in budget, but he could score a boatload of points. Diogo, if I had the budget, I would go for sure with Red and McLaren. Mercedes Ferrari looks weak this weekend. Yeah, it's a great point, Diogo. I really love that. Neo Ranto, Piastri, Norris, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Bortoleto with McLaren / Kick. Yes, triple Kick, triple McLaren is a popular build and it's doing quite well. The Birdman, what about Tsunoda? Tsunoda is a good option this weekend. I support it. If you final fix, do you lose the points and possible budget gain earned in quality from the driver swapped out? No, you do not, Karan. You gain, what will happen is after qualifying, you'll get the points of whoever you are final fixing out, and you will get their budget gain on Monday morning or Sunday afternoon, whenever the points finalize. But then on Sunday, you'll get all the points of your driver that you bring in. So if Verstappen scores 35 points on Sunday, you'll get those 35 points plus whoever you had on Saturday, their amount of points. And then you'll get the budget gain as well. So the ultimate thing would be like, if you have Gasly and you final fix in Max Verstappen, right? You'll get all of Verstappen's points on Sunday. But if Gasly DNFs and gets a negative 0.6, you'll wake up on Monday morning and you will have a negative 0.6 million budget decrease from Pierre Gasly, not the 0.3 that you're likely to get from Max Verstappen. Muse, would this be a good week for the Limitless chip? I don't love it because Austria is 6th for overtakes. Chiringuito FPL, Lawson plus Ferrari out for -10, or Lawson to Gasly / Bortoleto and stick with Ferrari. Lawson's going to go down, so you do have, I think you have to get him out. But I don't mind sticking with Ferrari. We're going to wait for these FP3 sims to come out, and it could be all aboard the Red Bull train. I'm going to go on to X and see if we've got anything going on here. I've got 9 notifications. Boo, 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 boo. Yeah, I tweeted this out earlier that it was going to be a very fascinating Saturday in F1 Fantasy, and I'm pretty sure that's correct. It's been... Oh, Pop Pan Man says, I'm no longer out ahead of the deadline, so why not stream? Oh, Pop Pan Man is in the building. Let's see here. Rain is live now, so hopefully you guys stick around. But yeah, I don't see any sims out yet. So let's see. All right, I'm coming back. Here we go. Yeah. Claude, I've got triple McLaren with Lawson, Hadjar, Alonso, and Kick. Obviously, I want Hulkenberg and 150 million budget. What would you do? I would... Ugh, man, that's rough. You can't get to... So you're kind of like made your bed with this triple McLaren vibe. Lawson to Bortoletto, does that give you enough to... You should have enough to just go straight from Hadjar to Hulkenberg. But if you go Lawson down to like Gasly or Bortoletto and then move Hadjar up to Hulkenberg, I think that's a pretty good move. I'm bringing in Yuki, hopefully ahead of the curve, says Colin. I like that. I like it a lot. Got 3 free transfers. Got Piastri, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, Lawson, Bortoletto, McLaren, Ferrari, and 2.4 million. What should I do? I'd get Lawson out. And then Lawson to Alonso. And then this Ferrari to Red Bull might be something that pops up once we get these sims. So if I do that, because, I mean, if Red Bull is far and away the second best constructor coming out of these sims, which practice debrief, we've got race sims, they're within 1/10 of Mercedes, and they are dead on with Mercedes in qualifying pace. Like, I don't think we're going to get a very willing Max Verstappen. I think Verstappen could still win the whole thing this weekend, so I wouldn't rule him out at all. But 9.5 million would leave me with almost anyone I want. It's just using all 3 free transfers. I could keep Colapinto and just roll, but that leaves a little bit of money on the table. So if I kept Colapinto here, 4.8 million, see, I could still have that money to final fix. So that's not bad either. Yeah, an hour and a half to go. And yeah, like I said, I think this is the most unsure I've been in F1 Fantasy this season. Oh, sorry, Ben. I'm thinking of McLaren, Ferrari, Piastri, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, Alonso, Lawson to McLaren, Kick, Piastri, Verstappen, Hulkenberg, Alonso. I have 3 transfers, so it won't cost anything. Thoughts? I like it. It's a little different, but I like it. Diogo says, if Russell stays, let's say 4th, and Kick doesn't score many points, you're sacrificing a lot of points in the second constructor, gaining the same budget anyway if you go Mercedes/Ferrari. My brain is not firing, but Russell will go up 0.3 and Kick will go up 0.3. So I think you get a little bit more budget there, Diogo, or maybe I'm just not understanding that totally. Heli says, please, your thoughts on Verstappen, Alonso, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Bortoletto, and McLaren, Ferrari. Any suggestions for an adjustment? I'm not a huge fan of Pierre Gasly this weekend, but I understand why you would be, because it's a really low threshold to gain some points and some budget. Or, yeah, really low threshold to gain some budget. But you could go Ferrari to Red Bull, and then you could increase Gasly to a safer option, maybe like a Sainz or an Alonso, or an Ocon maybe. Quick one, Norris or Piastri, whichever one you've got right now, to be honest, that's where I'm at. I don't think I'd swap either out. I don't think it's worth it for the transfer. I think it's always that close. And Lando can look dominant in Q1 and Q2. And if you brought in Lando, you're feeling like a genius. And then all of a sudden, you are just kind of down in the dumps and not feeling all that great either. Over 1,000 views right now. There's 190 of you watching. So thank you for tuning in. We went over the 3,300 subscriber mark, so that is also much appreciated. Thank you for everyone that is tuning into this. Almost literally, I think people can run a marathon faster than I will be on stream today. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We are here an hour and 5 minutes into the stream. Zhao says, Piastri, Hadjar, Sonoda, Alonso, Hulkenberg, McLaren, Mercedes, or Piastri, Hadjar, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Sainz, McLaren, Ferrari. I like the Sainz over Gasly, Mark. Maybe Red Bull. Just bring in Red Bull. I'm waiting to see these sims come out. What should be the best team for Austria and fantasy strategy with 117.5 million? Have Norris, Hadjar, Colapinto, Hulkenberg, Alonso, McLaren, Ferrari currently. You've got a pretty strong team right there. I don't think there's a lot of moves you need to do. I need to do 3 transfers to get to the first team. Oh, where did that go, Zhao? You were up here. If you can roll a transfer, I always prefer that option. Okay, debating between just swapping out Alonso for Bortoletto and also getting rid of Ferrari to get to triple McLaren plus Ashton / Kick. Yeah, Lawson to Bortoletto is a fine option. Sanjita says, is F1 Fantasy down right now? It's not for me. Bortoletto or Sainz have only got 111.1 budget. I guess I'd probably go Bortoletto because that should allow you to do other things with your team. Maven says, I can just afford triple McLaren, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, and Aston Martin. Should I go for it? Yeah, go for it. Yes to Red Bull, Q3, 2 cars. Sauber fastest pit stop. Also said yes to VSC. Can we finish ahead? And 16 cars finished. Just saw the F2 crash the red flag. Yeah, I just saw that on X as well. Would you go -10 for Norris, Hadjar, Williams? Greater than Piastri, Russell, Sauber? I don't love taking -10s. How much budget will I gain if I follow the McLaren, Aston, Piastri, Russell, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Hadjar team? I'm thinking if I go with that squad, you'll go 0.3, 0.6, 0.3, so 1.2, 1.5. Could be up to 3.1 million there, Leica. How does the top right corner work? Can someone please explain? Which one are you talking about? Because I got 4 slides going there. Why are you thinking of going with a B tier constructor? It seems like a good weekend with the A tiers being a little bit muddled to maybe just grab some extra budget and bring in Russell, who I believe in a little bit more, I guess. But, you know, we're still an hour and a half to go. My mind can change. Because like here... Yeah, that would have been nice to bring in Aston with Max. Not bad at all. What do the numbers mean for probable riser? That is their that is the points threshold that they need to rise. So the first number is their number to get a 0.3 or 0.2 or 0.2 or 0.1 price rise, depending on if they're a tier A or tier B asset. And the second number is to get a 0.3 or 0.6 price rise. Seems like I should stay on Ferrari. Yeah, Merc and Ferrari poll. Let's do it. Great call, Avails. 53-47 for Aston Martin, 300 votes. So pretty split amongst the community. All right, let's get another poll going. Ferrari or Mercedes? Let's include Red Bull. Let's see what people think. Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull. Let's give us all the options here. So let us know, chat people here. Ferrari, Mercedes, or Red Bull? Let your voice be heard in the poll. Hello, is there any understanding on the choice of a second McLaren constructor, Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, or even Aston Kick? Yeah, it's a big debate going on right now, and we are kind of going through the motions. People did pick Aston Martin over Kick Sauber in the Tier B constructor poll that we just ran for the first hour of the show, and now we're going to do some Tier A constructors. And then maybe for the final 45 minutes, we will do a battle of the winners here. Gasly or Tsunoda is driving me crazy. Ooh, I would go Tsunoda. I like Tsunoda a lot. Joe Fish, I currently have Piastri, Hulkenberg, Colapinto, Hadjar, Alonso, McLaren, Mercedes. Do I take a -10 for Piastri, Russell, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Alonso, McLaren for points and budget? I don't love taking -10s. So I think that might not be the way to go. Ross, I've been playing with my team. I can get Piastri, Norris, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Alonso, McLaren, Kick. Should I go for this or this stupid? Gasly's a little bit of a risk, but you got Hulkenberg, Alonso, Piastri, McLaren all rising for sure. Norris is going to be a little bit of a budget hit, so if you can take that, then that's okay. But it's not a bad option, Ross. Merrick, 100%. Locked in, McLaren, Craig says, locked in McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, Gasly. Two Colapinto out there, and didn't seem to be much to choose between Sainz and Gasly, so went for the bigger differential, hoping at least no Gasly DNF. Yeah, we're all hoping for no Gasly. I'm hoping for the people that go with Gasly not to get a DNF, but I'm not sure if I have the emotional fortitude to have another Pierre Gasly DNF in my squad. 111 million in the bank. What would the best team be? Probably the team that I had on my screen earlier. Well, not the best team. The team I like the most. Well, let's see here. If I can fit in Fernando Alonso here, that's going to be right below 118 or 111 million there, Singjita. So I don't mind that team at all. Maybe even Bortoletto instead of Colapinto. Gasly, Sainz, or Hadjar? Sainz, Hadjar, Gasly. Verstappen plus Kick or Colapinto plus Ferrari? What about Alonso plus Red Bull? We'll see. But I think I would go Verstappen plus Kick. Maybe. Yeah, Verstappen plus Kick. Brogan says, I've got same team but Ferrari instead of Red Bull. Should I swap Colapinto Bortoletto? I've got 2 free transfers. If that's the only move you're making this week, I kind of like it. Here's to another 3,300. Yes, if you're joining the stream right now, we passed 3,300 subscribers. And if you're watching right now and you're not subscribed, drop a like. We're at 130 likes. This is epic, guys. You guys are crushing it. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. But yes, on to another 3,300. Is it possible to get to 3,500 subscribers by the summer break? Is that what we're thinking here? You're gonna, if I get to 3,500, I'll do some sort of live stream walking around Spa when we're waiting for the sprint deadline. How about that? Sainz or Gasly? Sainz. I want to prepare a limit list for Spa. What would be an ideal team according to you? This is a pretty good budget building team that I've got on the screen right here, Senjita. Not gonna lie. But we've got this race worth of data to kind of get through. And then we should be able to see who's going to be pretty good for Silverstone to budget rise. Like if Hulkenberg and Alonso put in like another double-digit points this weekend, they should continue to rise again in Silverstone. Avail says, well, Borderline would allow me to have Ferrari, whereas Sainz would allow me to have Merc. I think I like Sainz better. Williams, they have had some DNF problems with this Mercedes power unit, so that is a tiny bit scary. But yeah, I think I'd go with that there, if that makes sense. Manasvi says, what changes should I make? I have Piastri, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Hadjar, Lawson with McLaren, Ferrari, and 1.8 million left in the bank with 3 free transfers. Lawson out. And then there's not a lot. You could go Hadjar up to Sainz. That's a move that I would maybe make if I was in a better spot like that. Like if I had Alonso and Hulkenberg already, I don't mind that. If you have 3 free transfers, only make 2 this week. Will you still have 3 next race? Bingo, bango, Brandon. Yes, nailed it. William, Ferrari versus Mercedes, the big question of the day for me. May have to stick with Ferrari. Yeah, see, if you don't have a definite gut feeling or the data doesn't really tell us like definitively what to do, I think you are just better saving that free transfer. Opinions on McLaren / Aston, Piastri, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Colapinto, Verstappen. I like it. I like it. I'm kind of thinking about something similar to that, but it would involve my final fix so that I can keep Alonso or Hulkenberg or Hadjar's 0.6 million price rise, John. But yes, great thoughts. Why do you think Russell is a good option? He put up the same time all 3 practices. Because I still think he's driving the socks off of this car. And like when it comes down to it, like Russell is almost the opposite of Lando right now in F1 Fantasy. Like when Russell has good practices, it really makes you stand up and take notice. But also when Russell seems to turn it on in qualifying, whereas Lando seems to turn it off a little bit. Like I know we do this a lot, but I think if Russell was in that McLaren, I think he'd be up on Piastri as much as Piastri is up on Lando right now. Sainz versus Gasly poll. Let's see, how many votes do we have here? Let's get this Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull poll at least past like 15 minutes, Daniel. But if you can remind me in like 10 minutes, I'll put one up. I have 3 view transfers. If I use 2, does the remaining 1 roll? Yes, it sure does. Ferrari looks strong. I might go McLaren kick, triple kick, Piastri, Russell, and then FF to Verstappen or Norris if he makes pole. Yep. How does this change sound? Piastri, Colapinto, Bortoleto, Lawson, Alonso with McLaren, Ferrari to Piastri, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Bortoleto with McLaren, Mercedes. Trying to look at what changes you are making there. You are getting Colapinto and Ferrari out for Bortoleto and Mercedes. I think that's I'm not trying to be like harsh, Manasvi, but it kind of seems like those are kind of like almost like nothing transfers because there's not a huge amount of difference. I do prefer Mercedes and Bortoleto, but it's almost maybe like not enough to kind of waste your transfers that way. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. G-Wiz says, looking forward to FPL. It feels like the season just ended, but I am looking forward to seeing what Florian Wirtz and Frimpong and Kirkez are priced at for Liverpool. I think if Kirkez comes in at 5 million, he'll probably be owned in every single squad. So let's see here. Current Piastri, Lawson, and I can get to... Yeah, it could. I think it... And I can get to Piastri, Verstappen, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Hadjar. I need budget, so not keen on Verstappen in that respect. Could mean good points haul, though. Yeah, it might be a good points haul there as well. Let's go over here. Let's go see if we've got some sims yet. Do we have sims? No, still no sims, so it's okay. I'm not sure if we're going to get sims, guys, so I wouldn't be 100%. Yeah, I think once we get within the last 45 minutes, that'll be the golden hour for us to get sims. And hopefully we will get some definitive answers here in F1 Fantasy. But we'll see them on this screen. I am not going to try to pronounce your name, unfortunately, because I do not. So I apologize, but we will get to those when we can get to them. Hadjar Sainz, I think I'm leaning Sainz. Max point scoring team with Sims. Max point scoring team with Sims. It's this one. Where is it at? This top one here. McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Tsunoda, Alonso, Hadjar, Lawson. That's for 112.7 million, and that's with me at 114.5 million budget. So that's my max scoring points team. Kieran, I have Piastri, Lawson, Alonso, Colapinto, Bortoleto, and McLaren and Ferrari. I have 2 transfers on what you suggest. I have 106.5, but I started later in the season. Lawson out. Yeah, Lawson out. Can you go Ferrari to Red Bull and Lawson to Hulkenberg? That could be nice. I'm torn between keeping Hadjar and trading for Gasly. Him getting 5 seems more likely than Hadjar getting 8 this weekend. I don't know why. I'll probably stay with Hadjar to save a trade. I like that. I kind of like that logic as well. Mr. Iceman is calling out the people that dislike the stream. Hey, haters gonna hate, Mr. Iceman. It's okay. Hollison on the rock, getting rid of Leclerc and V-Carb, questioning bringing in Mercedes and Tsunoda, Ferrari and Sainz, was confident in Mercedes up until FP3. Yeah, I think Tsunoda has a little bit of a chance at a sneaky 0.6 million rise, and you could be on one of the more popular assets heading into Silverstone next week. The Glaubus, due to budget to get Alonso, I have Hulk already. I need to drop down from Ferrari to Merc. Would you do that or keep Ferrari and forget about Alonso? It's so it's so tough to get rid of or not have Alonso this weekend. I feel like it's just, which probably means he'll be the ultimate F1 fantasy troll, take the throne away from Pierre Gasly, and, you know, DNF and give us a 0.1 or just a 0.2 price rise. Yeah, that would be brutal. That would be brutal. Saxum says, hey, Ewan, I want to know who would perform better in Austria and Silverstone. Sainz, Gasly, and Ocon. I would say Sainz. Sainz for me. Swapping Red Bull to Ferrari worth it? Ooh, probably not. I think Red Bull are going to come out pretty strong in these sims. Let's see here. What have we got going on? I'm going to retweet this real quick to see. I am live on YouTube. All caps. Caps lock is a little bit much, bud. I'm live on YouTube right now. How many hours are we? 1.5 hours down. 2 to go. Let's see here. I'm just going to go check on some F1 data. Matt and Tommy have released their qualifying predictions. They got Norris, Piastri, Russell, Verstappen, Leclerc. Tommy has Piastri, Verstappen, Russell, Norris, Antonelli. Let's see. Okay, F1 telemetry data. Maybe I can bring this up onto the screen here. Can look at this a little bit. Lap delta, Norris, Piastri, Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton. So track dominance was Norris. So Alonso, fastest in sector 1. That's kind of wild. And best speed in sector 1. I don't know. But we will see. The Sims will come out. The Sims will come out and we will all be fine. Ryan says, I'm thinking Piastri, Russell, Alonso, Hadjar, Hulkenberg plus McLaren kick with final fix on the table for Max Orlando. Hey, Ryan, that's what I was thinking earlier this week, so I like it. If I use wildcard of accepting -10 this week already, does this negative get reversed? It sure does, Boy Savage. Aston Martin, any good for a constructor? Yes, I do like the look of Aston Martin, Gaz Fisher. Ferrari or sell Ferrari or Colapinto? I'd sell Colapinto. Yeah, the price is make or break the game. I'll be around here for that content too. Keep up the good work. Yes, thanks, G-Wiz. Appreciate that. Hi, opinion on Piastri, Hadjar, Alonso, Bortoleto, Gasly, McLaren, Red Bull. Piastri, Hadjar, Alonso, Bortoleto, Gasly, McLaren, Red Bull. Yeah, Bortoleto and Gasly aren't like super high up there for me, but that's a solid team. It kind of, I'd love you to have Hulkenberg in that team, Mushroom Spots 44. If you saw above my head, it was just saying that tomorrow there is a cooldown room review. So an hour after most Grand Prix, I go live on YouTube to kind of have a therapy session and break down all the F1 fantasy scores that have either brought us joy or brought us pain. So we'll see how that's going to line up tomorrow after the Austrian Grand Prix. Ravenko, I don't know what to do. Aston Kick is tough. Kick gives me triple McLaren budget if I take a -10, but probably want to final fix Russell to Norris if I do that, as obvious one to budget build. But do I put 2x on Piastri / Russell, man? I'd still go Piastri in that regard. Joe Fish, 2:48 a.m. in New Zealand. Brain a bit fried. Yeah, but you live in one of the best countries in the world, Joe, so I won't feel too bad for you. I went to New Zealand in February for 2 weeks, and it was magical. Alan Brandt, Sainz or Gasly? Sainz. Cash Convin, McLaren, Aston, Norris, Piastri, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Bortoleto, and final fix to the pole sitter. If you're not going to Verstappen, you could switch either Piastri or Norris to pole sitter. Lots of flexibility. Cash says, I'm finally awake. Well, you know, you can't have it all, Cash. You're already top 50 in the world or whatever it is. 34th? Is that what you were saying? 28th in the world or something? Crushing it this season, Cash. Great job by you. Williams lost a lot of power in the past races, and Gasly is always looking to DNF in a cycle of 3 races. He sure is. He sure is. We went over that earlier. Bang, bang, DNF. Bang, bang, DNF. Do I consider Sonoda for Silverstone in Austria instead of Sainz? You could. You could. I had Sonoda on my transfer targets earlier this week. Sonoda over Gasly is tempting me. The Alpine looks so bad. It does. It looks so bad. Yes, you are so correct, Cruz Salgado. McLaren 2X, Nostri or Paris? That's what I was about to say. No, Norris or Piastri, Janine is asking. I think I'd go upside with Norris, but I would be nervous about it. I have Norris, Lawson, Bortoleto, Hulkenberg, and Colapinto. McLaren, Red Bull, 3 transfers to Norris. 3 transfers. Norris to Piastri, Lawson to Hadjar, Colapinto to Alonso. Thoughts? Yeah, that will line you up quite well with the template in F1 Fantasy, so that's never a bad option either. I've got Piastri, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Bortoleto, Alonso, McLaren, Ferrari. Should I move off Ferrari to McLaren or Mercedes or Red Bull, or move off Gabby to someone else? 115.3 million. If you're going to do one of those moves, I actually like the Ferrari to Red Bull move, but I'm waiting to see these sims. I don't know why. I've got this inkling that Red Bull's going to pop up in the sims and we're all going to start freaking out about Red Bull. We are 15 minutes done. So, according to the poll results, Ferrari or Mercedes or Red Bull, we've got Ferrari at 49%, Mercedes at 40%, and Red Bull at 12%. So, 181 votes. I'm going to call that a win for Ferrari. And then someone asked me to put up a poll. And I think it was the Sainz Gasly. Is that right? Sainz Gasly poll? Where did that go? Sainz versus Gasly poll. Let's put that up. Sainz or Gasly? Sainz? Gasly. There we go. Let's see how that goes. Sainz or Gasly? Let us know, chat. That would be greatly appreciated as we head into the final hour. Wow. The final hour before qualifying. The final 2 hours of the stream, because we're doing a QUALY watch along. So make sure to stick around for that. Sell Colapinto or Lawson? Lawson. Eric says 114.4 on my T1, global rank 13,395. I think I want to push for budget for this race. Triple kick Piastri, Russell, then final fix Norris over Verstappen. I like it, Eric. I'm thinking a very similar strategy. Despite the team that is on the screen right now, I just wanted to see how that would do. The team that I have been playing around with quite a bit will take up all 3 of my transfers, but it will have George Russell in there, along with Fernando Alonso and Aston Martin. The only problem for me is that if I go down that route, I can't final fix Russell to Verstappen and Norris, so I would have to join you here. I have 0.1 million more in my budget than you, but I'd have to go down to kick. And now that I'm like kind of thinking about it, the kick versus Aston debate, we can get into it. So right now, Kick Sauber, unless they are both disqualified from the race, they are going to go up 0.6 million. And if I am chasing budget, is chasing budget, like, do I just go full throttle into that? Because right now, if we go to the Sims, over here, team calculator, we can see Kick Sauber 9.1 expected points, Aston Martin 22.5. The only problem is the Aston Martin do come with a little bit of a price drop risk. Say in case, like, say someone has DNF'd or someone DNFs. If that happens to Kick, it doesn't really matter. But going with the Aston Martin feels okay. And it's going to give me more points, barring something spectacularly bad happening, which might happen. And if I could get to Aston Martin and they would be okay, that feels fine. The other thing is, I saw someone mention this on X earlier. I'm really sorry that I don't remember who it was. I think they were actually tweeting at me. But Mercedes will probably be quite good at Silverstone next weekend. And you know what? Let's go to AccuWeather Silverstone. What kind of temperatures are we going to be looking at Silverstone next weekend? Because that could come into play with our thoughts. Let's go daily. Close. The terrifying what's going to pop up on your screen. Looks like it's all just credit card madness. Pretty cool temperatures in the UK next week. Will that favor Mercedes? Does that mean you can bring a Mercedes this week, suffer a little bit, but keep them in your thoughts for next weekend when they will likely do better in these cooler temperatures? The things that we go through as F1 fantasy managers. CCOFTW. I've got Piastri, Hülkenberg, Alonso, Hadjar, Lawson, McLaren, Ferrari, 3 transfers. Lawson out for sure. Not sure what to do with the second free transfer. Yeah, I don't know what you need to do either. I guess you could go Ferrari to Red Bull if these sims are coming out. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Joe Fish says, nice. I love that you enjoyed it here. I sure did. It was great. I would love to go back. Probably move there, to be honest. The big APO. I can do triple McLaren, Aston, Alonso, Hülkenberg, Hadjar with my second team without a -10. Should I go for it? Yeah, go for it. Be bold. Opinion on Piastri, Hülkenberg, Alonso, Bortoleto, Hadjar, McLaren, Mercedes for 2 transfers with 1 more for next week. Yes, I like it. Is final fix best used for when a driver takes pole at a low overtake track or when a top driver qualifies very low with a chance for overtakes? Would you consider using it this week? Yes. I don't know if anyone's following me on F1 Fantasy X, but the morning of the Canadian Grand Prix, I put out a tweet about final fixing Lando to George, and a lot of people were not very happy with me. So I looked at it and I was like, you know what? Maybe they're right. And I said, I was wrong. And then you know what happened? I was right, but I wasn't right in the way that I thought I was going to be right. So I don't really want to claim it as a victory because Lando DNF'd and he looked really good. Sell Colapinto or Ferrari? I'd sell Colapinto. Mercedes or Ferrari? It's kind of a wash right now. It might just be whoever you have. I still am leaning Mercedes a little bit because of the long-term appeal with that Silverstone weather. Gary says, I've got Piastri, Sainz, Hadjar, Albon, Alonso, McLaren, V-Carb. Only 160 budget. Not feeling Williams or V-Carb. Bit stuck. Maybe a wild card weekend? Maybe an Aston Martin weekend, my friend, because that'll save you $3.5 million in budget. So that might be kind of tasty as well. Let's see. What else have we got? Thoughts on McLaren, Aston, Piastri, Russell, Tsunoda, Sainz, Alonso? I like that a lot. When will we have the data? Hopefully very soon. Just my PC. Seba around the world. Norris, Hadjar, Lawson, Colapinto, Alonso, McLaren, Ferrari. Would you take -10 or 20 points penalty to fix the team as much to try Gay's budget as I can? I would not take a -20. If you have the wild card, hit that wild card button and take the -20 to your heart's content. G-Wiz says, excited for the quality watch. So am I. Yeah, it's gonna be a bang up time. I am very excited. Team Calculator suggested McLaren, Aston, Norris, Piastri, Lawson, Colapinto, Bortoleto. What's your thoughts? My thoughts are that I like that. I like it a lot. No, I don't like Lawson. Not Lawson. You actually don't even have Hülkenberg or Alonso in that squad. If you have any budget left, yeah. Actually, I'm taking back my statement, Darren. I'm sorry. I do not like that squad that much because I'm not entirely a huge fan of Lawson or Colapinto. I think your funds can be moved around a little bit better. Austin is in the chat. Hey, Ewan, hope you're doing well. Jeremy says, I am moving to New Zealand in September. Wow, Jeremy, I'm jealous. Berserker P, thoughts and prayers. What is up, Paul? I don't think Quick is slow, to be honest. They've looked really good so far. Yeah, I think so. Lucas, what is with Piastri, Alonso, Bortoleto, Colapinto, Hadjar, and McLaren, Mercedes? Can't afford Ferrari instead of Mercedes. I don't mind that at all. I think that's a good squad. I think I've caught up with the chat for a little bit here. Whew. Okay, so while we're doing that, let's go and build the T3 squad, which is Norris, Sainz, Colapinto, Bortoleto, Hadjar with McLaren and Mercedes. Gasly or Bortoleto? Kind of leaning Bortoleto, to be honest. But I know that he needs more points. So it kind of, yeah. So, Yeah, I think Bortoleto will score more points, but Gasly's probably a better budget building option. Saksham Anad says, hey, can you really clear about Sonoda needs 13/25 and Sainz needs 3/10, who could make me max price in Austria as well as Silverstone? Well, Saksham, great question, because now we can use Pat F1's fantastic website, which is linked in the description below if you guys ever want to play around with this yourself. Let's go to Carlos Sainz here. Where are you, Carlos Sainz? Boom. 7 points in Spain, 13 points in Canada. He's averaging 2 points, but let's say he doesn't get 2 points. Let's say, what does he need? What did I say he needs? 3 points. So he needs 10 points to get you that max price rise, right? Let's say he scores 13 points in Austria. He'll need 7 points in the UK to get a max price rise as well, or -1. So that's okay. I think that's fine. I think Sainz is a pretty good option. What is he actually projected to get? We can even just put in those numbers. Sainz, expected points 3.6. That does seem a little bit low, but even if we put that in, 3.6 points, he'll need 14.4 points in the UK to get that points up. So 15, really, because I guess if he scores 3, he'll need 15. If he scores 4, he'll need 14. So that's not bad at all. Your other option was Sonoda. If Sonoda scores 25 points this weekend, you are sitting pretty, because he'll need 13 points in the UK for a max price rise, which, I mean, could be a little bit difficult to get for Sonoda, just depending. He says like this weekend has been the best weekend for him so far this season in a Red Bull. But the vibes seem pretty good around Yuki. So I think if we're going with a 2-week option, I might go with Sainz just because he needs like he's less expensive and needs like less points. JB says, I'm stuck. McLaren, Ferrari, Piastri, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, Lawson. What to do? Lawson down Ferrari to Red Bull and Lawson to Ocon or Sainz, if you can get there. Keep Ferrari and Cairo of third sub for next week, or use it for bringing in Mercedes. I would keep your third sub, Elliot. Opinion on Piastri, Alonso. Oh, Nicholas. FP3 sims are in, people. Let's get ready to get weird. Here we go. Austria post FP3. Alrighty, so I'm taking a screenshot of this so that I don't lose my way. People are freaking out about the simulations. I love it. Yes. Okay, cool. Let's figure this out. So I have 3 free transfers. The most expected points 3 free transfers are, well, we can just take a look at the results. So Ferrari have popped up ahead of Mercedes by 5 points. That is interesting. Aston Martin have also popped up a little bit too, though. They're up another 3 points. Kick is down, Alpine is down. Norris has crept ahead of Piastri a little bit. Verstappen is way down there. Russell's a little bit down too. Not great, Bob. Not great at all, Bob. Okay, so the top point scoring team here is 231.2 points for my squad with a 0.51 budget rise. That is not going to work for me, folks. McLaren and Kick. So this is what I do. I like to pin this squad. Actually, you know what? I'm not bringing in Stroll. So I'm getting rid of Stroll. So on the F1 Fantasy Tools website, you can get rid of this people that you need. I'm not going to bring in Stroll because that's not going to work for me. I'm also probably not bringing in Behrman. Ocon, I don't love either. So I kind of like to eliminate these other options, right? And it kind of throws up things at a better time. So here we go. So the best team right now is the one that I have pinned. That's for points. That's McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Tsunoda, Alonso, Lawson, Hadjar. I'm not going to keep Lawson in either because he's going to go down. So I'm going to eliminate Lawson from this as well. So now the point scoring team is Mercedes, Tsunoda. I don't want to have Colapinto in my squad either. This is kind of how I go through the Sims, guys. I don't like that. Show me something else. So McLaren, Ferrari, Piastri, Alonso, Sainz, Hadjar, Gasly, 113.2 million, 224.1 points, 1.93 in budget gain. That's not bad. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to unpin this squad, and I'm now going to repin this squad right here. I think Russell not being as spectacular as I thought makes me want to get rid, kind of venture off of him a little bit. But the thing is, where would I go here? So top budget growing team is this Kick Sauber team, but let's say I take out Kick. It's got the Aston Martin squad here, right? 211.1 million, plus 2.7. It's really good. It's a really good combination. I think Mercedes can be all right. I guess the Ferrari race pace was impressive enough. I think it's going to be hotter tomorrow, Ivor. Ivor says, what's the weather like for tomorrow? That is my main concern for not taking Mercedes. Yeah. Thank you for everyone letting me know that there are new sims in. I appreciate it. To fit in Red Bull would be Piastri, Hadjar, Alonso, Hülkenberg, Borderline, McLaren, Red Bull. I think the Piastri is still better. Yeah, you know what? Let's force in some McLaren and Red Bull thoughts here. What am I looking at here? So 218.6 million points with a 2.4 million budget growth for 110.8 million. So that leaves me 3.7 million. So I really can't move up from that. That locks in a lot of points, but let's see. So over here, we've got the simulation. So Ryder hasn't actually kind of posted what his stats team is going to do. So that's kind of interesting, because that always makes you feel better as well. Let's see here. I'm going to say, give me 1 second to post a little bit here. New sims are out for F1 Fantasy. Join me on the live stream to break it all down. As much as I appreciate everyone already being here, you know, we should get more people in here. We can help us out with the poll. So let's see. Share, copy on the live stream to break it all down. Post. Okay, we are back. We're getting Doug back. 224 people, 232 people are watching, almost at 150 likes. So if you guys want to clack that around, that'd be great. Drop a like, hit the subscribe button. We're almost at 320 subscribers. We are rocking and rolling. Anonymous. Piastri, Hadjar, Hülkenberg, McLaren, Kick. Thinking of adding Russ, Alonso, or should I do Mercedes and Sainz or Gasly? What should I do? 3 free transfers. I like the Russell Alonso build. I still think that's an okay build. Arjun, thoughts on Piastri, Alonso, Hülkenberg, Hadjar, Bortoleto, McLaren, Mercedes? You're getting a lot of budget there, so I don't mind it at all. Let's see. With the heat today, Mercedes dropped off again. True. Ocon versus Hadjar. I mean, they're saying that Ocon's going to score some more points, but Hadjar has a better chance at rising. And I think Hadjar's just been doing it so consistently that I'm going to stick with Hadjar for that one. Sorry, I got to go back up here. Take a -10 to replace Leclerc with Russell. I don't think so. Not after these latest sims. Looks like they kind of like Leclerc to get back at Russell. So qualifying pace, Ferrari is way down. Almost 3/10 down. But they must have shown something, because they're 2/10 down in race pace according to yesterday's sims, but they must be a little bit better now. Alrighty, what do we got here? Shaq's opinion on... I'm pretty sure I've already answered that question, Saksham. I think I went through it earlier. But if you can just give me like you're trading these two people for these two people, that will be a lot better. I really appreciate that. Good afternoon, man. I'm still liking Carlos for fourth most expensive driver more than Gasly. I have Hulkenberg, Alonso, Hadjar, and Piastri. One team has Max plus Bortoleto instead of Sainz plus Piastri. I feel like Ferrari are hold. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it does look like it. According to the Sims, and I guess they've shown some stuff. They were faster in qualifying. I'm still wondering, like, they went on their run a little bit later than Mercedes, and George is just doing George things. But I guess I haven't really looked at, can I get to, it'd be kind of weird, but if I bring in Mr. Alonso here, so I have enough to bring in Charles Leclerc. Is that too crazy? Yeah, probably, because that doesn't really do anything for me. Yeah, I do feel like Ferrari are hold. Darren says, I have McLaren, Aston Martin, Piastri, Russell, McLaren, Aston Martin, Piastri, Russell, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Hadjar. My dilemma is kick for Aston Martin, ham for Russ. I like Aston Martin and I like Russell more. Mercedes or Kimi? I'm planning McLaren, Aston, Kimi, Piastri, Alfonso, Bortoleto, Hadjar. What are your thoughts? Probably Mercedes over Kimi. Oof. Yuki is the type of driver to not gain any positions in the race, and Red Bull leave him out to dry on the first round of pits. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Malek, I ran Norris and Ferrari in Canada. Thoughts on wildcard to have this team? McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Sainz, Gasly. No, you might be in a good spot right now. Norris is looking strong. I know things went poorly for people in Canada with Lando Norris, and I know that he's going to be down 0.3 this weekend, barring like a massive, massive performance. But you might just luck out and have the race winner. Not luck out, but you might get to bounce back with the bad luck from last week. I transferred Norris last week, thinking of keeping him since so many people revert back to Oscar. Do you think this will be a differentiator? I sure do, EDP. I was just talking about that. Good call by you. Chris Cox. Piastri, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Bortoleto, McLaren, Ferrari. Thinking of dropping Bortoleto and Ferrari to bring in Yuki and some Mercedes, but I feel like that's stupid. I should bank the transfers or just drop Ferrari for Red Bull or Merc. I think you got a really strong squad there, and I don't entirely know if you need to do anything, Chris. Brian, 2 transfers, 105.6 budget. Piastri, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Hadjar, Sainz, McLaren, VCarb. What do you think I should do with my team? I'd probably drop down from VCarb to Aston Martin for sure. And then you might be okay. Are we fully avoiding F1's troll Gasly? Personally, I am, Austin. I will let other people take the 0.6 million rise, and I will just do something different because I don't think I can go there. Worth doing Norris, Piastri. I have 2 of 3 transfers left. Already have Hulkenberg, Alonso, Hadjar, Bortoleto, McLaren, Ferrari. If you desperately need this 0.4 million swing in budget, that's probably going to happen between Piastri and Lando, then sure. But otherwise, I don't really think it's a necessary transfer. 40 minutes left to the deadline, people. This is wild. Lawson versus Hulk versus Gasly versus Colapinto. Hulkenberg, Gasly, Colapinto, Lawson. That would be my order. Thinking of keeping Ferraris, it gives me the option to roll a transfer to Silverstone. Sonoda requires me to get Merc, so I'll pass on Sonoda. Sonoda, thoughts? It is looking that way. I hate how much of, how reliant we are to the Sims sometimes. It would be really interesting to see what we could all do without the Sims, for like what our teams would look like. But the data is pointing towards keeping Ferrari at this point. Rest of the team is... Yeah, I think you're good, Nicholas. I think you got it. For points, Sainz or Gasly? Sainz for points. And for budget, to be honest. Ivor, Team 2, McLaren plus Aston, Norris, Piastri, Alonso, Hadjar, Gasly, 116 million budget. I like it. You should gain a lot of budget. Are you coming over here? Oof. The cat has made an appearance on the stream. It wouldn't be a live stream on F1 Fantasy Pole Position if my cat was not around. So this is Oscar, who was named before Oscar Piastri came on the scene. I just want to throw that out there. I don't want you to think. I am wearing a McLaren shirt. But no, Oscar predates Mr. Piastri, so that's just a strange coincidence. And you are very hairy, sir. All right, let's see. Get back into it here. Got distracted by the cuteness. I keep Sainz in my team for Austria and Silverstone. He guaranteed max price rise. Then out of Alonso, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, who can't get max price, I will have 3 free transfers. That's beautiful, Saxam. I love it. Should we 3x on non-sprint weekends? I would prefer not to. Have you done F1 Predict yet? I have, but I can... let's see. Okay, let's do F1. I did do F1 Predicts earlier. I had the point. It's like maybe like 30 minutes ago, Austin. So if you want to go check that out. Vivian, FP3 Sims has Red Bull coming out ahead of Merc for points. They sure do. EDP, thoughts on triple McLaren and then Alonso plus Hulk plus Gasly? I'd have to run Aston as my constructor, as my other constructor. Thoughts? I don't hate it. It's a little bit of a differential. So it's kind of nice. Max, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, Bortoleto, McLaren, Mercedes. That's a really different lineup. I mean, Hulk, Hadjar, Bortoleto, and Alonso are similar, but Max plus Mercedes, I don't see a lot of that pairing, Ace. What about triple McLaren with 3x, 2s Piastri plus Hadjar, Bortoleto, Alonso, and Aston? Too crazy? Not that crazy. I'm thinking quite similar, Seba. So I think you're in a good spot. Let's see here. People are coming in. 40 minutes to go. Over 2,000 views for the stream. This is epic. Thank you so much, guys. Iago. My team is Piastri, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, Alonso, Bortoleto, McLaren, Ferrari. Should I switch Hadjar to Sainz or save the transfer for Silver? I would save the transfer. Can you talk about points difference versus budget rise Ferrari versus Mercedes? What up, Oscar? Hear that, Oscar? No, he doesn't. He's eating food now. Mark. Yes. So, I mean, Ferrari is going to rise. Mercedes is going to rise. I guess they're more likely to rise, but not by much. And pretty consistently over the course of the season, Ferrari is kind of putting it to Mercedes. 73, 64, 34, 67, 71, 61, 57. Mercedes outscored them last weekend because they were, or 2 weekends ago, because they went 1-3. But it's been a little bit of a rough stretch here. I mean, Ferrari had the double DSQ, but they've pretty consistently been a better constructor. I mean, even with a double DSQ, they are still 2.1 points per race ahead of Mercedes this season. I know Mercedes had a couple pool races here in Imola and Monaco, but a double disqualification is so hard to come back from. Like, that is absurd. So I think Ferrari, with the budget, the sims, and the constant scoring, I think it's fine. Hello, went Norris/Ferrari last week, 114.9, still have wild card. Rest is McLaren, Alonso, Colapinto, Lawson, Hadjar. I'd get Lawson out this week, Alligator. Anything else you would do if not going back to Piastri? Have 2 or 3 transfers left, not using another transfer would be burning it, right? Yes, it would be. Norris, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Hadjar, Bortoleto, McLaren, Ferrari. Sometimes it's the moves that we don't make that saves us. So, yeah, not bad at all. Hadjar out for Hulkenberg? Yeah, I think I would. I like that. Favorite between Gasly, Bortoleto, and Sainz? It would be point scoring. It would be Sainz, Bortoleto, Gasly. Budget building. It would be, I guess, Gasly, Sainz, Bortoleto. I hate that. I already hate that answer, Nixie, but I think that's what I'd say. Connor. McLaren, Ferrari, Piastri, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Colapinto. Any changes? Maybe Colapinto to Alonso if you can get there, Connor. Actually, definitely if you can get there. Cat wearing the same color shirt. Yes, that is true. Yeah, but yeah, I guess that's fortunate. Great point, Brian. 2x on Piastri or Verstappen? I would get 2x on Piastri. Just out for watching F1 the movie in 4K, 720, unreal. Ooh, nice. Glad you had a good time, Kieran. I'll go back to watch that. Oh, perfect. Thanks, Austin. Appreciate that. T1, Piastri, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, Lawson, Colapinto, McLaren, Ferrari, 3 transfers, Lawson to Alonso, Colapinto, Gasly, roll 1 transfer. Love that. Love that. Bortoleto for Gasly. I kind of like Bortoleto more this week, actually. Locked in, Piastri, Antonelli, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, Alonso, McLaren, Mercedes. Looked at Russell instead of Antonelli, but that would drop Hulkenberg's Haas for Barla. I think the points and budget. Yeah, I think you're strong there, Anthony. Good call. Colapinto or Bortoleto? Bortoleto seems more comfortable in his car. Yeah, I think I'd go Bortoleto there. Is it worth taking Hulkenberg and Hadjar if I have to switch Ferrari to Mercedes? Hulkenberg is 0 point. It kind of depends on if you're budget building or point scoring. I think Ferrari. And I mean, I'd love Ferrari and Hulkenberg, so that would be the option I would go with there if you could. Luke, F1 fantasy strategy. What is up, sir? Smashing the stream, mate. Appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. Orlando here. McLaren, Ferrari, Oscar, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Bortoleto. Thinking to swap Bortoleto for Gasly? Ooh, I don't know about that at all. Could be ultimate F1 fantasy pain coming your way, but I guess you could tell by my reaction that I don't love that move. Angel says, Piastri, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Lawson, McLaren, Ferrari. Swapping Lawson for Carlos. Should I leave Ferrari and roll transfer or take Mercedes? I haven't used Limitless. Any recommendation? Thanks. Don't use Limitless this week and probably just save that transfer. Website error now. Uh-oh. How about triple McLaren, Alpine, Alonso, Hadjar, Hulkenberg? I don't love Alpine. I'd really prefer you to go with Aston Martin there if you could. F1 Fantasy Strive. Okay, so I've seen enough here that it seems like the website is maybe crashing. So I think I'm going to have to take a few minutes here to maybe fix my F1 fantasy team or F1 fantasy teams. I've got Norris in here. I could take a -10. What would that do to me here? So Alonso, why would I bring in Lawson? Sometimes, but I understand what they're doing, but kind of nuts. I don't want Behrman. I don't want Ocon either. Show me the money. I don't want Stroll because he's likely going to fall. 0.6 million. So this would just be one transfer for Fernando Alonso and roll on my T3 squad. Must be nice. Alonso. Why could I not do Alonso and Hulkenberg? Yeah, Alonso and Hulkenberg. That's easy. For who would that be for? For Bortoleto and Colapinto. Where'd that go? Okay. And then I'd bring in, no, I'd have to bring out Sainz. What am I doing here? Bortoleto, Alonso, and Hulkenberg. Continue. I can't get up to Red Bull here, can I? Just short. Okay, I'll keep Mercedes in here. This will be the experiment team. 2 changes. Boom. That one is done. Let's see here. Yeah, it's a good idea to sort the team out now. Yes, it seems like it's working. I was able to submit that team there. All right, here we have another problem squad. This kind of dropped a little bit last week. Not loving this team either. But I do have 3 free transfers in the bank. So let's see what we've got here. For points, they've got 225.8. And for budget, you know what? Maybe I'll force no penalties there too. So 2.45, 1.81. This has the exact same budget as my T1 squad. Let's get a little bit. See, this doesn't have 1.81 expected price rise. Here we go. Piastri, Hulkenberg, Gasly. Oh no, I don't want to bring in Gasly. It's so scary. 220. I think we're going to get weird. Let's go triple McLaren with this T2 squad. Let's do it. Piastri, Bortoleto, and Aston. So I'm going to bring out Colapinto. Put in Aston. Gonna put in Mr. Piastri. And then, damn, 0.7 million. Oh, wait. I should keep in Hadjar. Sorry. That was Hadjar. Where'd you go? Isaac. Oh, it's because you go by season points and you score so many points. There we go. There we go. Oh, I can't get to Isaac. Oh, no, because I have to... Stupid thing. There we go. Continue with this. 3 transfers here. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. All right, I'll concentrate on my other team for the final little bit here. Okay, let's get back to the points. Saksham says, I need around 10 million for tier constructors. Should I change to wait for kick or change it with RB in terms of budget and points as well? I would stick with kick to ride that. Mercedes or Ferrari? I'd go with Ferrari. DS, currently have Leclerc and Hadjar. Would you downgrade Hadjar to Gasly to avoid Leclerc to Piastri? Would be for a -10. Oh, that's tough, but I think I would. I don't love it, but I think I would. TSA, I'm having a hard time choosing between Colapinto and Gasly. Opinions? I'd go Gasly because I don't like either Alpine, but he has... could be ultimate F1 fantasy pain, but we know how it goes. Should I switch Colapinto to Sainz/Gasly or just save one transfer for the next race? TSA, if it is for free, I would do it. But if you can save it, I would save it because I'm about to tell Christian here that I would just save the transfer, I think. EDP says, I have 2 free transfers. I know I'm swapping Lawson for Fernando, but should I save a transfer and keep Colapinto or swap him out for Gasly to try and get the budget rise? But should I save a transfer and keep Colapinto or swap him out for Gasly? I do love rolling a transfer, EDP. That's usually my answer. For points, Sainz or Gasly? Sainz. Kuba Pi, yeah, 3 triple McLaren. Aston would be better, but Alp is max my budget. Oh, okay. Then maybe I just go down and kick. I don't know. That would probably be what I would do. Russell kick or Ferrari Sainz? Probably Ferrari Sainz there, actually. Hussein Tafal, Piastri ×2, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Lawson, Colapinto with McLaren and Mercedes. What do you think I should do? I would get Lawson out for Alonso, if possible. Norris, Hulkenberg, Lawson, Alonso, Hadjar, McLaren, Ferrari. I think I'm using wildcard to get Piastri, get rid of Lawson, and get Mercedes. Thoughts? I don't know if I would be wildcarding out Ferrari after what those FP3 sims just told us. I believe in you and all your choices, says Paul. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that. I'm trying to go for points. What do you think about Piastri, Alonso, Colapinto, Bortoleto, Tsunoda, and McLaren Mercedes? I'm not sure that's the best point scoring squad, actually, because I'd rather have Ferrari, and I'd probably rather have Hulkenberg. I think he can score. I think he can score some points for you. I love pack cricket. Triple McLaren plus Aston, Alonso, Bortoleto, Hadjar, using all my transfers. I'm pretty sure I just built a team exactly like that. So, yes, I did. So, great call by you. Do you trust Norris this week or switch to Piastri? I wouldn't switch between them. But if you're bringing one in, it might be Lando for me, to be honest. Gorka, I did my predictions about 45 minutes ago. So if you just like scroll back in the stream, I did about 5 minutes on those there. So go check that out. Would you use wildcard to get off Norris and also get rid of Colapinto, Lawson and bring back in Piastri, Hulkenberg, Bortoleto? Ugh. Is it for like a -20 here, Alligator? Because then we're talking wildcard territory. But I don't think we have to get off Norris unless you're like really desperate for budget. But I think it could be more pain, but it could be like a pretty big differential, I think. Swap Sainz or Hadjar for Yuki or keep the transfer. I'd rather keep the transfer, to be honest. Mark Johnson Roche, T3 team, pure drivers. Piastri, Norris, Hadjar, Russell, Lawson, RB plus kick to Alonso or Hulkenberg, and RB to Aston, and Norris versus Piastri. I would go Alonso and Aston and maybe Piastri. Andras, Piastri, Bortoleto, Alonso, Colapinto, Hulkenberg, McLaren, Ferrari, or Piastri, Bortoleto, Alonso, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, McLaren, Mercedes. Mercedes would be better long term, but I know Ferrari would be better here. Points don't really matter because I probably won't lose my league this week. I think Mercedes will be better. I think looking at next week, that weather in Silverstone could really favor Mercedes and they could be flying. I guess Ferrari is going to keep bringing updates. I'm not entirely sure, but we are 24 minutes away from the deadline. So don't forget to like the stream and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you can. It's been 2 hours now. We're over the 2-hour mark in the stream, and there's still an hour and a half to go. So hopefully you guys stick around. Marathon Austrian Grand Prix deadline stream and QUALY watch-along is still going on. Whew. 3 free transfers. If you're not going to lose your league and you're just like going for global rank, go for it. Crush it. Alligator, nope, have 114.9. Maybe I'll keep it. Thank you. You're welcome, Alligator. Anytime. The big APO, my second team, Piastri, ×2. Russell, final fix to Norris. Alonso, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, McLaren, Aston. I like that. I like that a lot. You must have a little bit more budget than me because I'm a little bit jealous of that. I missed FP3. What happened? Ferrari is better than Mercedes. It's looking that way, Adolfo. Bala says Piastri, Alonso, Hadjar, Bortoleto, Hulkenberg, and McLaren, Ferrari. Yes. Yes, that's perfectly fine. Alrighty, we're going to get back into my T1 team here a little bit. I'm going to unpin all these teams because it kind of fries my brain a little bit. So we're going to start all the way back here. All right, so the most points they're thinking about scoring here is Alonso, Stroll, Ocon. So we'll pin that. The most budget here is McLaren, Kick, Piastri, Russell, Alonso. Okay. So I don't like Ocon, and I don't like Stroll. So that gets me to 229.7 million. I'm not a huge Behrman guy this weekend. I don't think I'm going to get to Sonoda. So I can take him out. Norris, Aston, Alonso. It's a little bit interesting. But 1.21 million is not great either. 2 free transfers is 227.3 points with 1.89 million budget. Oh, I filtered expected points, minimum 200. Look at you. Thank you. There we go. Oh, sorry. I keep forgetting that this is here. Expected points, min 200. Apply filters. Perfect. Okay, now we're cooking here. So they still got this Aston Martin, Russell, Alonso build that I've been looking at for a while here as the best budget gainer. So thank you, Eric, for reminding me to do that filter. Gua says, great stream. I think Gasly is cursed, but watch him prove us all wrong. Good luck. You too, Gua. Thank you for tuning in. All right. Sean says, would you pick 1, triple McLaren Kick plus Alonso, or 2, Piastri, Verstappen, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Hadjar, McLaren Kick? Ooh. I do like having Hulk, Alonso, and Hadjar. That's pretty nice, Sean. So might not be a bad play. Okay. I am rolling the dice, Ewan, says William. Lawson out, Gasly in. Wish me luck. I wish you luck. Fingers crossed for everybody that goes with Pierre Gasly. It's probably one of those things where like it's so obvious, but I can't get over it. I'm too hurt. I'm still too hurt. I'm trying to see if we got anyone locked in. We got F1 Terry that's locked in with Piastri, Sainz, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Hadjar, McLaren, Mercedes. Oh, that's interesting. What else have we got? We got Leapsfrog going with Piastri, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, Colapinto, Alonso, McLaren, Ferrari. If I had the budget, I would pick Norris as my 2X, but I can't afford it and rank Ferrari above Mercedes. Not swapping out Colapinto for a -10 as Gasly's the only viable option. I'm not interested in him. Okay. I'm gambling with Gasly. He can only hurt us so many times. Boarding a flight in 5 minutes. Appreciate for a last minute suggestion. Current team: Piastri, Hulkenberg, Sainz, Hadjar, Colapinto, Ferrari, McLaren with free transfers. Can I do Piastri, Hulkenberg, Sainz, Alonso, Gasly, Ferrari? Yes, you definitely can, Prince Ajit. Definitely go for it. Hopefully you get your team sorted in time. Alex says 3 free transfers: McLaren, Ferrari, Piastri, Alonso, Sainz, Hadjar, Colapinto. 124 or 112.4 budget. 3 transfers. You got a pretty nice squad there. I guess you could go Sainz to Hulkenberg and maybe Colapinto to Gasly if you want. Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. Thanks. You are welcome, Prince Ajit. I am going with Piastri, Sainz, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Gasly, McLaren, Mercedes. Yes. I'm starting to wonder. Kieran says, locked in. Good luck all. You too, Kieran. Formula Fantasy Hub, Rob, my F1 Fantasy team is locked in. Hulk for the budget. Forward playing with Bortoletto for the 4A tier in a few weeks. Will Lando pay us holders back? He looked good so far. Locked in early as I won't be online much today. Good luck, everyone. There we go. Locked in. Piastri, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Alonso, Bortoletto, McLaren, Ferrari. Who will win your production and poll? I'm going Lando. I think that's where I'm going right now. All right. I really don't want Colapinto. Bring in Alonso. Bring in Bortoletto. Sainz won that final poll there. So great job by him. Alex says, thanks. You're welcome, Alex. Thank you for joining. Or thanks for your question. I appreciate that. Let's see here. I am kind of slowly descending into madness about what my moves are going to be here with this T3 squad. Oh, EDP, don't do that to me. That is rude. That is rude. I did Ferrari, Lawson, Colapinto to Aston, Russell, Alonso, hoping for a 2.9 budget rise. Probably going to end up in 2 DNFs. Maybe. The voice is still intact, which is the thing I was most worried about, that my voice was going to give out when going over 2 hours. But it's still here. Mr. Polly Woo is in the chat. What is up? McLaren, Ferrari, Oscar Hulkenberg, Alonso, Lawson out, Sainz in, Hadjar out, or dare I say Bortoletto, or save the transfer. Definitely Lawson out. And I think you can probably say that. I think you can save the transfer. I think Hadjar is going to be fine. I really do. Like, we've got the required points here. Like, Bortoletto needs 4 and 8. Hadjar needs 2 and 8. So do we really think that Bortoletto is all of a sudden is a safer option than Hadjar? I know he can't drop, but I don't expect Hadjar to drop, right? I don't know. And if we go over here to the practice debrief, like, Racing Bulls is fine. I saw your T2 team. What's your budget with all? It's 114.5 million. It's actually the exact same as this T1 team. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Man. I'm going to lock it in. Alonso for Lawson and Gasly for Colapinto. Let's go get that 0.6 million gain and chase greatness. Alonso for Lawson. Henry is in the chat. What do you think is the play between these two teams? Hit me, Henry. I am ready. Although I do have the slow mode on, so I'm going to have to wait 15 seconds. It's because, you know, some people will spam a little bit. I want to be able to get to everyone's questions. How different do I want to get? The Sims are suggesting now that Ferrari has a little bit of better race pace, but not a better quali pace. So, all right, chat, we're going to do a poll for the final 15 minutes here, and you're going to help me decide. Russell or Leclerc? What are we going? Georgie, Charlesy. Let me know. Ferrari or Mercedes? I think I'm leaning Ferrari right now. It's kind of disappointing. Henry, T1. Piastri, Alonso, Bortoleto, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Ferrari, McLaren. Or Team 2. Piastri, Leclerc, Alonso, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Aston, McLaren. I'm kind of debating between those two teams myself, Henry. That's what the poll is up for. Russell versus Leclerc right now. 29 votes. I'm over here just being like, how did we get here? How did we get here? So, points. See, the thing that worries me is Leclerc doesn't show up anywhere on this list. It's weird. Like, if Russell shows up, surely Charles should show up as well. I know he needs 22 points. Maybe swallow the Gasly pill for T1. Don't make me do that. Nicholas did Lawson to Alonso and Colapinto to Sainz and rolling the last transfer, hoping Sainz is the best one. I have a very good feeling about Carlos Sainz this weekend. So, yeah, man. These last two things are just so nerve-wracking. Well, 12 minutes to go. 12 minutes to go. Colapinto or Bortoleto for points? Bortoleto for me, Miguel, is what I would go with. 58-42 right now for George versus Charles Leclerc. I want to go to the elite data. Maybe this will help me. Leclerc is in 3% of squads. Russell's in 6.6% of squads. Sainz over Hadjar. Gas is a sure thing this week. Are you a time traveler from the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix and from the Monaco Grand Prix? To be fair, 0.6 from Gasly would be amazing for going to Ant in Silverstone. This is my only debate. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So if I bring in Gasly, and keep Ferrari, right? So next week, I'd have 2 free transfers for Silverstone. Yaison says Merc or Ferrari. I think I'm going Ferrari. Let's see. So then I'd have to come down here to go to Mercedes, and then 0.6 would leave me 12.6 million. Like, I'm still pretty far away from this Kimi Antonelli build. So, 3 transfers to Silverstone. Yeah, that's pretty nice. If I keep Ferrari, this 8.2 million burning a hole in my pocket. Hulk out for Bortoleto. This is tough. This is really, really tough. This might be the toughest decision I've had so far this season. It's kind of driving me wild. It's good. It's making me a little bit crazy. Okay. Ferrari plus Pierre Gasly. What are we looking at here? Ferrari plus Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly, 1.5 points plus 53.9 points is 55.4 points. Gasly to Colapinto, sure, but I don't love it because it just feels kind of flip-floppy. If I have 3 transfers this weekend and use only 2, do I get 3 next weekend too? You sure do, Henry. Bortoleto or Sainz? Sainz for me. Go for budget, says Steph. So that's my thinking, though. Steph is like, if I go with Aston Martin here, Aston Martin plus Leclerc is... See, Leclerc is just right there at the same point. And Russell will save me some more money. I think the debate boils down to this. What's your tolerance to risk? Would gaining an extra 0.6 be worth it for you? Yes, I think it would, because I need to get to that thing. If I go Ferrari, I need to have Lawson. If I go Ferrari, it needs to have Lawson. I'm thinking long-term Mercedes, and I can have Hulk and a spare transfer next week. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Brandon, I think if you go Gasly, it's better for you long-term, man. I'm going to absolutely hate myself if I come on this stream tomorrow and I went Pierre Gasly and he DNFs. Like, I will be, like, I like to make decisions that I can put my head down at the end of the night and be like, I had good process. I took a risk that I believed in. And it worked out. And if it doesn't work out, then that's fine. And you know what? I've been a sheep. I've been a little bit of a sheep this season. So I'm going to go with Russell, despite the Mercedes kind of hate. Because he really doesn't. If I'm leaning into this price thing, then I will not come back and complain tomorrow. No, I will not. I promise you, EDP, I will not. I will be very happy for everyone that goes with Pierre Gasly. I just don't think I can. I don't think I can do it. I've been hurt too many times. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times. Get the men in white coats to come drag me away. Mark is locked in. Good luck, everyone. QUALY watch. Yes. It is almost time for a qualifying watch along. Oh. I know the boring play is the sensible play. But is this an opportunity? If I go with this 2 free transfers and like, no, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not going with, you know what? Pierre Gasly. I like France, but no, this is it. This is going to be my little bit of a move. And I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here. And I'm going to use all 3 free transfers. The only thing I can't decide is this Leclerc versus Russell thing. Georgie is winning right now over Charlesley. Yes, it would make me say idiot sandwich. Nicholas, you're right. We talked about this on our Thursday stream. You have not missed the boat, Luke. I would still bring in Hulkenberg. You know what, guys? I've been talking about this for 2.5 hours. We're doing this. Let's lock this bad boy in. What am I doing? Oh my God. All right. It's done. We did it. We did the thing, and I'm ready for all sorts of pain. At least you guys will tune in tomorrow, right? Like, what is that? You got to do it for the clicks? Is that what the kids say? I don't freaking know. But yeah, we are locked in. Whew. Okay, that's it. Honestly, can't believe I did that, but you know, yeah, it is what it is. Here we are. I am no longer a 2A constructor. Having 3 transfers for next week will be better, but if everything goes right this week, guaranteed 0.6 million Gasly increase now. Yeah. Hello, darkness, my old friend. But I've been off Pierre all week. Alpine don't look good. Alpine look bad. So that's where I'm at. So let me fire off this tweet here. Lineup lock. Lineup lock for the Austrian Grand Prix. I've gone a bit different from others. And where is the eyes? The eyes, the eyes. I've gone a bit different from others. Good luck, everyone. There we go. It's locked in. This is it, guys. I'm done. I've done it. The madman has done it. Ah. I can't believe we've done that. Can't believe we've done that, everybody. But here we are. This is the T1 squad. Okay. I'm not okay, William. I'm not okay. But we are where we are. So having a little bit of a existential F1 fantasy crisis. I went Gasly and Piastri back in. Like that, Nixie, strong moves, strong moves. 5 minutes to the deadline, folks. 5 minutes to the deadline. Thank you for watching me to and fro with that decision for the last 2.5 hours. And I am ready to sit back, relax, and yeah. Only problem with T1 team is we are not one move away for 2 tier 8 constructors. Yeah, I'm still not really there anyway. And if Mercedes look good next weekend, who is the one that is most likely going to win? George Russell. So if Gasly DNS, we'll get Gasly. He's in all 3 of my teams. Yeah, true. The big APO, but it is fine. Final thoughts now? Final fix thoughts now? I could go to final fix. Yeah, I think the only thing is going Aston Martin, I will have, instead of kick, I can get to Lando. So there we go. So that is what I kind of, yeah. So Austin says, usually I have the same team as yours, but I've gone with Ferrari, Green Goats, Alonso plus Hulkenberg, Gasly. Pray for me. The funniest thing would be if Colapinto is the one that gets it. You know, that's the way F1 Fantasy works out. But I can actually go to sleep tonight thinking that, like, I thought this through and it's okay. And if it all goes badly for me, then it is what it is. But, yeah, it's just, it's a good time to be different. I should have gone different in, I should have gone different in Canada. Because I was even kind of shouting them out in my kind of preview thread on Saturday morning. I was like, it's screaming out Las Vegas 2024 to me. And I still didn't go through with it. So this might be a little bit of a late to the party being different for the sake of being different, because I kind of really didn't like what I did in Canada. What do I think? Piastri, Russell, Antonelli, Alonso, Gasly, McLaren, Sauber. Antonelli, Alonso, Gasly. Well, if you've been around, I don't like Gasly, but we're here. But I don't mind it. I don't mind that team at all. Alex says, 3 transfers: McLaren, Ferrari, Piastri, Alonso. 3 transfers. Should I roll into Hulk for Hadjar or Colapinto, or keep squad and 3 free transfers? I would bring in Hulkenberg for Colapinto if you can. Yes, for sure. Sorry, Alex. I think you've maybe asked me that a couple of times. I think Stroll will DNF. He's so bad. He is bad, but the Aston is looking okay. The Aston is looking okay, which means that it will all go shockingly wrong. But here we go. Yeah, thank you for putting up with me there. 33 seconds to qualifying. This is going to be epic. Ethan says, 1 minute left. Get your transfers in, everyone. Yes. Do you like Piastri, Sainz, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, Alonso with McLaren, Mercedes? I like it. Sainz in for Hadjar? Probably not. I'd save that transfer, to be honest. Yeah, but we're here. We're here, and I am going to do this. Watch now. Oh, someone asked me on X or something. I think I missed somebody. My bad. Okay. Gasly for Hadjar if I'm tight on budget. I just keep Hadjar. I think he's just as likely to rise as the rest of them. Okay, so I need to get this up so we can watch some quali together, right, everybody? Are we sticking around here? I'm sticking around. So, yeah. I'm going to... Oh, sorry. Try this again. All right. I think this is okay for me to show on the screen. It's syncing. Okay, but, well, sync faster. But here we go. Let me get the F1 TV app up and running so that I can watch it along with you guys. Whew, that was kind of crazy, huh? 175 likes. You guys absolutely crushed it. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. We're watching qualifying together for the first time this season. I expect some of you to kind of leave because you'll be watching qualifying, but come back during the breaks and we can discuss what's going on in qualifying. So that'll be quite fun. Let me do this and this and, oh, this one. I'm trying to connect to my iPhone. I should have done this a little bit more seamlessly. That would have been nice, huh? There we go. I think that should work eventually, but maybe not. Anyways. 5-minute delay, it seems. Oof. Imagine the face of Ewan if Russell gets pole. The scenes. I don't think I'd be able to contain my excitement there, sir. Let me see here. Okay, I want to keep y'all's chat up. EDP, have I seen the F1 movie yet? I have. Actually, on the Q&A stream that I did, the last 10 minutes of the episode were kind of dedicated to talking about F1 the movie. So I don't want to kind of throw it out there for everybody just in case they don't want to. It's like a little bit, it's pretty non-spoilery. There are some things that happen, like some storyline mentions, but it's not like it's not a big spoiler. I don't let it be known what happens in the movie all that much, just kind of touching on some storylines. But if you're an F1 fan, which hopefully you are, if you've been tuning in for the last 2.5 hours of this stream, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was very entertaining watching F1 cars go around an F1 track. So on the big screen, because we do that every Sunday anyway. But yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. Also, like, if this could start, this would be great. But regardless, how is everyone else doing? How's everyone else feeling about their F1 fantasy teams? Did I lose the plot there a little bit at the end? I can't even tell. Okay. Oh, look at that. It goes behind it. Spectacular. So, oh, but it can't go behind the window. Okay. That'll just have to do. That's okay. I think that's fine because you guys can still see the chat. Eric, locked in T1. Ferrari, McLaren, Piastri, Alonso, Bortoleto, Hulk, Hadjar by one kick build. I went with a variant of that with my... Okay, here we go. If I can... Nope, I don't want to move that one over. I want to move this one over. Don't want to do that either. Goodness gracious. Here we go. Booyah. I think that looks a little bit better. Sure, we can still see you guys. We can see y'all's chats, which is the most important thing. 48-degree tag temperature right now. FP3 was around 30 degrees. What website/tool is this? This is f1-dash.com/dashboard. So I quite like it. Track map, standings. So once the cars get up and running here, we should have some action. But yeah, this is a little disappointing. Not gonna lie. So yeah, that's what this is. It's kind of fun. When I'm actually just watching qualifying by myself, it's I usually have the F1 TV app with a little timer thing because it has all the purple mini sectors, which I really like. But yeah, that is where we are at. What is going on here? Why are we delayed? What's going on? Let's see here. Live coverage. Can I see what's going on? What's the deal? Ready. Okay, but there was a crash. Everyone was okay. 6:05. It is 6:05 or 16:05, so that's where we're at. So if we could get this show on the road, that would be great. 18:25. Is that when qualifying is starting now? It is f1-dash.com/dashboard. Ivor. 5-minute delay, said Brad. Yeah, I thought it was supposed to start at. The lights are green. Yellow flag, green flag. Here we go, folks. It is time. Finally. I was getting worried there. Booyah. I am. Okay. I need to. Oh, wait, I'm actually. Well, that's fine. That's not a problem. All right. How is everybody doing? The other thing that we can do here is go over to the live scoring. What have I done? Insert Anakin meme here. So, yeah. A couple of people have similar lineups to me, but a lot of people are saying that I have gone a little bit different. So, yeah. Look at this. Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso. Stop the count. 29 points for Aston Martin. We are in the bag, baby. That's it. It's done. We're good. Don't worry about it. We'll just keep it that way. Whew. Man, that was a really wild stream. I'm so happy that you guys were around. I'm glad you guys are sticking around. Some of you, 60 people, still kind of chirping around here, watching me, watching F1 Fantasy. So really appreciate that. I still don't know why. Oh wait, here we go. Nope, that's not what I want, because I don't want to be airing F1's. This is so dumb. Gotta turn my. How do I disconnect this? Bluetooth. Now I can hear Alex Jacks. Jacks? Oh my God. Go away. Come back. There we go. Thank goodness. Alrighty. But if you guys have got any questions, went with one trade, Lawson out, signs in. Yeah, smart. Had to get Lawson out for sure. Like, there's no way that we weren't going to have him out of here. So, you know what I can do here is, because there's all this blank space over here, I can increase the chat. Oh, do I still have a poll going? Okay, so George came out on top, 65-35. But yeah, look at that. I can keep the chat going. Very nice. Mr. Iceman, just saw your moves. We have the same team now. You just have around 2 million more than me in budget than me. Well, I hope we all have a lot more budget soon, Mr. Iceman. So fingers crossed for us. So all very good stuff. I have gone through 2 of my liquids. But so Sainz is a little bit behind his teammate, Alexander Albon here. So Stroll, man, he is on it. Really not that bad. So, who we got? Who's on track here? Who we got? Yeah, thank you, Mr. Iceman. Appreciate it. But let's see. We've got Ocon on track right now. Or he just set the fastest lap. So. Oh, man. I'm honestly impressed my voice is still here. That's pretty good. Also, if you're one of the people that are watching right now, one short of 3320. So like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks for streaming. I'll only have to juggle 2 tabs in audio streams today. I have the Austrian ORF TV commentary in the background just to practice my German. Sehr gut, Craig. Sehr gut. As someone that has lived here for a quick minute, my German is awful because we thought we were going to move. So then I kind of stopped practicing my German and I lost it like that. Sucks. So, but we are going to try a new taco place tonight. Mrs. F1 Fantasy Pole Position and I. So pretty exciting about that. Let's see. Who's out on track? Anybody out on track? Bortoletto is going for a lap here. Okay, let's see what you got, Gabby Bortz. Let's see what we got. Gasly's up there a little bit in front of Behrman, behind Sainz and Stroll, so that's fine. Alonso must have had something. He must have had to... Did he have to abort his lap? I wonder. So, like I said, you live in Germany. I thought you lived in Canada or the States for some reason. Well, I have an American accent, but I was born in Scotland. Lived there for 14 years. Lost the accent entirely when I moved to America, which is slightly disappointing because now I sound like this, which is fine. Yeah, now I lived in Germany. So that's kind of the story behind F1 Fantasy Pole Position a little bit. That's how I ended up over here, which is great for F1 because now all of these races are in the appropriate time zone for me. So I don't mind that at all. Verstappen is absolutely crushing it. Great job by him. So Colapinto, how's he looking? Where's he at? Colapinto, I don't see you on the screen. There you are. Alonso's in the pit. I wonder what's going on there. I'm not nervous. You're nervous. Shush, shush, shush. So here we are. But okay, not a session best S2, sector 2 there for Max. So, but we'll see what he does the rest of the lap. Norris is coming through, flying, absolutely flying. Let's see. Max half a second better than Hulkenberg, to be expected. So Norris, oh my goodness, Norris 4/10 better than Verstappen. Oh my, that's quite a statement. That is quite a statement and a half. Yikes. So we got a little track map here, although I think that covers up your chat, but never mind. Yeah, Lando almost half a second clear of Max. Scary hours. Let's see what Oscar can do. Where is he? He must be coming on his lap right now. You know, I don't really like the trap map. I kind of like the sector times. Is that all right with you guys? Let's put up a poll. Let's get interactive here during sector times or track map. Sector times, track map. Which one do you guys like better? I'll put whatever one you guys vote for up. Oh, 50. Russell's 3/10 down, but that means he's second. Let's go, baby. Oh, Antonelli. Okay, Antonelli's up to 4th. Now show me George Russell. Oh, that looks pretty good. That looks strong. Not that good. I'm not nervous. You're nervous. Oh my goodness. George. Although George goes out. Everyone wants the final fix to George, right? And then I've already got him, right? Right? Oh, the copium. The copium is sky high right now. I think the kids say that, right? Did the kids say that? I don't know. Alonso, if you could get on the track. Oh, all green, all green, all green. Where'd we go, Alonso? Only 14th doesn't make me feel great about that. Oh my goodness. Oh, did he get blocked? What happened here? Oof. Nearly slid off the gravel. Goodness gracious. Me oh my. Sector times is what people are saying. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So we got 58 people watching, which is to be expected. It went down after the deadline passed. No worries there. But we are 19 likes away from 200 likes on the stream. If you haven't liked it, give it a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make myself, who's been on here for almost 3 hours now, a very happy chappy. I would greatly appreciate that. What else have we got going on here? Gasly's at the bottom, Colapinto's at the bottom, although he's got green sector 1 for himself, although that's just personal best. Let's see. Who else have we got here? No one else is out on track. Everyone else is pretty much in the pit. Is Hulkenberg going again? Or is he just on his slow lap? Oof, Piastri. Wow. But still 3/10 off of Norris. Yikes. Gasly. This is gonna happen, isn't it? So he's now not going to become the entire F1 fantasy community's troll. He's just going to become my personal ultimate F1 fantasy troll as Craig chimes in. Gasly! Yes. There we go, people. You to and fro for 2.5 hours. You try to be nice to people, and Craig chimes in with a little Gasly. Right in the side. Right here. Ow. Ow. Yeah. Although if he qualifies high, probably going to fall. Get some negative points. You never know. I don't know. I hope Gasly does well. I really do. I can't go there. I couldn't fall asleep on my pretty comfy pillow tonight, knowing that I had Pierre Gasly in my F1 fantasy squad, despite what the sim said. So, yeah. I got a little bit different this week. I feel good. It feels like a good, yeah. Sean says, Gasly doing well in quality is just foretelling of what's about to happen tomorrow, smiley face. Yes, I hope so. Bortoletto is on it. Wow, yes, he sure is, man. Hulkenberg. Bortoletto. Oof. Top 5. Diogo says, hope Gasly DNFs. I mean, it'll be, if Gasly gets the 0.6 price rise or he DNFs, I hope people tune in to tomorrow's cooldown road episode on F1 Fantasy Pole Position, because I will be here for all of the reactions, the good and the bad. So, yes. Let's see. Alonso and Stroll being down, that being down in the drop zone doesn't make me feel great. Not gonna lie about that. But yeah, sure, we'll be okay. So Sainz and Williams are going out here with 5 minutes left. Are they gonna have another run, or are they just? Is this? Yeah. So they are. So Williams has gone early with new boots. Sainz is going to go out. Sainz is going to be out of here in Q1. Diogo says, did you went Aston Martin for construction? I sure did, Diogo. I sure did. Right here. That's the T1 squad. Adil says, just woke up for quality and EST and glad you're still going. I am. I'm here for 1 more hour. Well, for qualifying. So that's where I'm at. Mamma mia. So, but yeah, Sainz is gonna be knocked out here. So we'll see how that goes. I doubt we have the elite data yet, right? From F1 Fantasy Tools. Let's see here. So this is 2025. So this is where we're currently at. If I load it up. No, I don't think it's changed all that much yet. Oh, no, it did change. Okay. So Piastri went up, Alonso went up, Hadjar went down, Hulkenberg went up. I'm still really surprised that Hulkenberg's only in 67% of squads, to be honest. Leclerc went down, Russell went down, half of Russell's managers dropped him. One person used their limitless. One person used their node negative. Gasly went up 15%, so he's actually still a little bit of a differential if you guys went Gasly. That's not bad at all. So that's interesting. But I still have the top 4 owned assets, 5 of the highest owned assets in F1 Fantasy right now with Piastri, Alonso, Hadjar, Hulkenberg. Could have gone Bortoletto, but decided to go with Russell instead. So let's see what we got going on here. Trying to time it right. Okay. Okay. I'm pretty much in lock now. The stream that I have is in lock with this timing on the screen. Although that probably means that you guys are a little bit, I don't know, but right now it's 2:20 to go in Q1 if you want to follow along like that. It's not a good first sector. Holy moly. Many people of my league went kick for constructor and science less guys, so I went completely different. Haha. Yes. Okay, Stroll is about to go on a push lap. Alonso is about to go. So let's see how we go here. Stroll is already yellow, so that's great. Oh, okay, coming green. Coming green here. Come on, Lancey boy. Okay, Ocon moves up to 13th. Let's see here. Stroll is going green. Behrman's going green. Hulkenberg is not. Come on, Alonso. Come on. Oh, here we go. Okay, okay. Looking okay. Come on, Alonso. Come on. Ah! Okay, let's see. Let's see. Is he going to get here? Come on. Come on, Fernando. Give me a lap. Give me a lap. Where'd Stroll go? Stroll only went to 13th. That's not good. That's not good. Okay, George Russell, what are you doing to me? George, what are we doing here? Oh. Wow, Tsunoda's going to be out. Sainz might be out. Colapinto might be out. Ocon's in the drop zone. Tsunoda's in the drop zone. Sainz is out. Hulkenberg's out. Hadjar moves through. Russell is going to knock out Lance Stroll, which is not great. Gasly's up to P4. Where's this coming from? Oh. Woo-wee. Yeah, me and you both, Toto. Jeez. Stroll is in the drop zone. So, Sainz overtake fest tomorrow. Sainz is 19th. Holy moly. Fernando's through. Colapinto's through. Behrman's through. Leclerc's through. Russell's through. Mercedes not looking that great. McLaren are so far ahead, it's not even funny. But, oof, Aston Martin. Sonoda's not doing well. All right, what do we got here? What do we got? Aston differential, wow, looking scary in Q1 right now. Yes, they sure are. Lost in P3, massive sheesh. Come on, Fernando, Gasly, Sainz overtake, Diogo. I like your message, but I can't put it up. But yes, I thought Kick would do way better as well. But Portoletto's up there. So Stroll, P4 on Friday, P8 on Saturday morning, and out in Q3, or out in Q1. Is the sky blue still? Looks outside? Yes. Oh. Disappointing. And Lance Stroll. What could be better? So something has happened to Sainz's car. So if he thinks there's something really damaged, I'm almost wondering if he can, maybe he'll start for the pit lane. Maybe that'll make Nicholas a little bit happy. See, we saw that yesterday with, who was that? Who was that had, it was Lawson, whose car was like pulling right yesterday the entire time. But yeah, Sainz is like really struggling with that car. So that is crazy. V-carb looking strong. Yep. Stroll gonna scroll. Stroll gonna stroll. Literally just take a stroll. Yes. Did Hulk have an incident? I don't think so. Lance should rack up some overtakes tomorrow at least. That's true. Stroll always strolling. Yep. Just avoid that DNF, Lancey boy. Come on. Let's just avoid that DNF. Don't do that to me. Man. Bortoletto is, yeah. Don't mind Hulk P20. He's an overtake king. Yeah, he should score a lot of points tomorrow. So that's not bad at all. Whew. Mama Jama. But Norris is looking mighty strong right now, right? So, man. But we'll see if some Brandon coming in. Gasly P4. Come on. Yes. Great job. Great job. Let's see here. Oh, man. We're still going. We're 3 hours into this. Should do this every week, right? No, I can't do this every week. There's a special occasion. Getting me over 3,300 subscribers. This is great. So I really appreciate you guys coming out, chit-chatting F1 Fantasy for most of Saturday afternoon. I am starting to think about the tacos that await me. So that's kind of exciting. What is everyone else doing? Anyone doing some brunch or dinner or breakfast today, depending on where you are in the world watching? I don't know. Let's get some food suggestions going here. Craig says, need Merck to turn it up in Q2. Yeah, a little bit. Looking a little bit nerve-wracking there. But we'll see how it goes. Can Sainz bounce back tomorrow? Probably. Merck looked terrible in Q1. Yeah, they've done this before, where they look bad in Q1 and a little bit shaky in Q2. Maybe like Antonelli will go out in Q2, and then George will just find something in Q3 all of a sudden. But they were saying, someone said it here in the chat. Where'd it go? Nicholas was talking about this earlier. 48 degrees Celsius track temperature right now. FP3 was around 30 degrees Celsius. So it's gotten a lot hotter. 200 likes soon. Yes, Adila, that's what I'm thinking. We're trying to get there. We're almost there. 17 likes away from 200 for the stream. William says he's on my T3, which is currently in top 300. We were wrong getting rid of Lawson. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Fasting, no time to make breakfast. Oh, damn. Just going to a sunset party in Barcelona. Going to lose the race. Oof. Sunset party in Barcelona? That sounds fantastic. Really need Carlos to step up tomorrow. 10 points from P19 should be doable, but it will probably be P18 because RB will put Yuki in the pit lane and pretend to fix his car in confidence. Yes, I think so. Massive props to you. I think you said like 32,000 words on the stream. So thank you for the effort. P.S. You're forgiven being absent the last 2 races. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I have no idea how many words. Is there a counter? Or is that just a hyperbolic statement? Is that what people say? Yeah, I don't know. But 32,000? Yeah, that's... I have no idea how many words I talk all the time. But yeah, Joe says it's a lot hotter today. Maybe that's affecting them. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but we saw this earlier. Silverstone next week looking pretty cool. 21 degrees Celsius, 23 degrees Celsius, 23 degrees Celsius. We're going to call Yuki the worst driver in history for not making Q3 for 5 races like we did with Perez. It is... So, Perez was obviously... Diogo, Mr. Iceman counted it one by one. Dedication to the YouTube channel. I appreciate it. So with Perez, obviously people that were calling for his head and stuff like that. Oh, Sergio Perez, massive apology. Because it's obviously not his fault. That RB must be pretty much fine-tuned to the way that Max Verstappen blinks or twitches or whatever it is. Because, like, Yuki was a good driver before this. So, yeah. Exactly, Iogo. Wow. Yeah, round 3, you and I here. Appreciate that, Mr. Iceman. Perez won 5 races in the second Red Bull. Big bro, Yuki hasn't even made top 6. Yeah, it's been rough for Yuki. I mean, yeah, it's rough. Craig says, overnight in the van and hiking up the Geigelstein tomorrow. Might have to watch the race relive. Sure. That sounds like a pretty fun hike there. All right, where are we at? Oh, Q2 has begun. Fun times. Who we got going? Leclerc's going out early, looks like, huh? Is that right? Yep, he is. He is. Hamilton with the purple sector. Okay, I see you. See you, 7-time world champ. $14 likes away from 200 if you guys have not hit that yet. But I don't know if I've hyped this up, but 50% off the F1 Fantasy Tools premium tools stuff with promo code UM50. F1 movie tonight. Oh, nice, Connor. Let me know how you like it. Yuki was still meh. He was matched by Lawson last year. I don't know why people thought it would be a big change. His only real teammate was Gasly, who cooked him. I think that's fair. But Yuki did... I mean, Danny Rick came in. Yuki did better than him. Nick DeVries came in. Yuki did better than him. Lawson came in. I don't think... Did he ever out-qualify Yuki in the second half of last season? I think Red Bull would have... The way that Red Bull did this is they should have promoted Yuki, right? And be like, you were the better driver. And then if they want to demote him after 6 races or whatever, then bring in Lawson. I think the way they went about it hurt themselves so much. Because now you've got Lawson. You've got Lawson here who's might be out of a seat by the summer break. If Arvid Lindblad wants to come in and take it over, I don't know. Hamilton going to tease us all session and hit us with a P8 final Q3 run. I know the script by now. I know. Yeah, he's been pretty hit or miss in Q3 this season. Diego says, hope they don't sacrifice Hadjar for the seat, which is the most probable thing to happen. I honestly think it depends on what Max does with these Mercedes rumors coming around. Maybe, like, if Max goes to Mercedes, then what do? You have to rework your whole car. So maybe Yuki stays in and they promote Isaac and they build a more manageable car for other drivers. I don't know how that would go about. There's new regs in 2026. So, like, is Red Bull currently building a 2026 car for Max, or are they trying to build it for all contingencies and have a better all-round car? Mr. Iceman says, what's your favorite movie, by the way? I love Revenant, 12 Years a Slave, and Schindler's List the most. Better than DeVries. Come on, bro. Fine, fine. You got me. You got me. Favorite movie? I guess there's like a prestige movie that can be your favorite, and then you can do like a movie that I would, if it's on TV, I would just sit down and watch the rest of it. That movie, I'm not gonna lie, is probably Ricky Bobby, Talladega Nights for me. I love that movie. I could almost quote it line for line if I had to. But favorite prestigious movie? I like Apollo 13. Also kind of I don't mind Interstellar is pretty good. The Martian is pretty good too. But yeah, I don't really have great movie taste, to be honest. Like, I love all the Fast and Furious movies. I love a lot of the superhero movies. All the Mission Impossible movies, James Bond, like Skyfall is up there. GoldenEye was fantastic when I was a kid. So, yeah, I'm kind of all over the map. Watched F1 this morning. It was awesome. Some creative freedom of what you can do in the race. Great cameos. I was there last year at the Silverstone film. Nice. I'll definitely give Lost in the Season, to be honest. Limbaugh looking good in F2, but still quite raw with incidents and stuff. Fair enough. He wasn't involved in today's F2 accident, was he? Russell to Red Bull and Verstappen to Mercedes. You just switch them right around. Jackie Brown, great movie if you've ever seen it. I have seen it, actually. Great point. Yeah, I guess all the Tarantino movies are pretty up there. Watching live at the Red Bull Ring, it is so hot. Mac Attack, I'm glad you're having a great time, but it looks absolutely roasting there. My fantasy team, Deep Speed Hammer Time. It looks like I'll finish the season whatever I haven't had. Sucks to team at Ferrari. Get back home. 23 degrees in the UK is roasting temps, by the way, relatively speaking. It sure is. I mean, I was in Scotland last weekend, and it was lovely, but I think it was like 14, 15, 16 degrees in Inverness. So not too shabby at all. Let's see, what are we cooking with here? Is Alonso on a lap yet? Is Alonso? Oh, he is on a lap. Okay, but it's not going too well by the looks of it. Lawson just topping the times. So, I guess we should have gone with Lawson this entire time. Let's see here. Verstappen is up there. Whew, Piastri, man, just on fire. Alonso's up into P9, so that's not bad. That's a good jumping off point. Although it'll probably drop down, actually, because now there's both McLarens, both Red Bulls, or both Mercedes. Gabby looking quick again this weekend. Hopefully can convert it into a good race finish because his pace compared to Hulk has been great. Yes, he's been awesome. Some niche picks and some classic picks. Cool to hear. Watch Gravity, overrated for me. Controversial, I know. I think the first time I saw it was in IMAX or something, so I got like the full experience and it was pretty good, but I literally have no desire to ever watch it again. V-Carb says Kip2 Mike looking good, but Lawson was a negative point. So yes, it just might score some points, I guess. Let's see. Lando Norris goes quicker by a 10th, but we know that Lando is very good in Q1 and Q2. Will he be able to put it together in Q3? Leclerc, half a second back. Ooh, was Hamilton in the dirt? Look at Ferrari. Revenge of the Sith, best Star Wars film. I'll die on that hill. Return of the Sith? Number 3, episode 3. Is that what we're talking about? Because I will join you on that hill. I love that movie. Q3 between the McLaren should be fire. Yes, it should be pretty great. Lawson is technically only -3 because he's 4. Oh, there you go. Yes, of course. Verstappen very unhappy on the radio. Bortoleto is a lock for 0.6 stinks tags. Max not happy with the car? He sure isn't. Episode 3 is epic. Yes, I agree. I'm right there with you. I don't see a red flag, Eric, so I think we're fine. It says track clear on the app thing here that we're watching. So, oh, yep, no, there is a red flag. Why is that? We're doing this again, huh? Lewis, why are we doing this? Come on. Oh. Fire, fire, fire. Yikes. Alonso. Why does it say to gap to Piastri and not to Norris? It's very strange. Alonso's going to extract some pace out of this car. I can feel it. I can feel it. But the throat is starting to feel the effects of 3.5 hours on live stream. Shocked to see Red Bull struggling. Max has 4 or 5 straight pole positions here. Doesn't he? He sure does. I think it's 5 straight poles, and he has 5 wins and 8 podiums in his 12 races here, if we're including the Austrian Grand Prix as well, which we should because it's the same track. But yeah, that's kind of crazy. Let's see here. What else do we have? What else do we have? Elite data? Anything to learn from the elite data? No one played, barely anyone played a chip this weekend in the Patreon or in the Global Top 500. Autopilot was played by 3 managers, so that's interesting. No negative by 1, 3x by 1. McLaren did drop by 0.4% in the Patreon Top 500. So 2 people dropped McLaren this weekend. Mercedes went up 17% and 13% this weekend. Very interesting. Aston Martin went up 3%, 4%. Kick Sauber stayed very similar. So those with Kick are still very, very differential, despite their drivers being 37.8 and 67.2% picked in F1 Fantasy. So this is going to be interesting. So they're going to have time. So they're probably going to wait for 3 minutes. Yeah, that's what Julian Palmer saying. We got a 5-minute, 42-second shootout for Q1, Q3. So that is kind of interesting, but we will see how that goes. Oh my goodness, such a beautiful view. Wild. Let's see what Max is really up to here. Austria isn't a chip kind of track, if that makes sense, at least for Limitless 3X non-negative. I agree. I yes, 100% agree with that. Unless we had like a Piastri, Lando, Max, George kind of like going out in Q1 and then you use the final fix, but you can never really predict where you're going to use the final fix. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, man. The stretching is much needed. Man. Let's see. Yeah, Verstappen does not seem happy with the car. I guess the Red Bull is not as invincible as we thought it would be around the Red Bull ring, which is a little disappointing. But yeah, let's see here. So Red Bull, or Aston Martin, is on the 1 point that they need to get that 0.6 million rise. So we'll just stay right there, guys. We're good. Don't worry about it. 48 points, 55 points, 54 points. Are you guys... Let's ask. Oh, I need to end this poll first. Stretch and drink beer. Hydrate. Yes, probably. Start a poll. Do you like Davide on F1? I don't know if everyone watches on F1 TV. But like Davide I forget his last name, but if you guys watch F1 TV, Davide is on there. He's very, very animated and stuff. And I think like the first time I the first time I did that, or I listened to him, I was like, he's kind of a little bit much. But the more I listen to him, the more that I tend to like him, actually. So I think he's good. I think he is like a different, like an acquired taste, but I think the more you listen to him, the better he kind of grows on you. Prince Ajit says, "My wife doesn't understand fantasy managers. Have no life. Staying on the stream for 3 hours. Can your wife talk to mine?" This is a very special occasion. We're just like we were traveling last week. So, and I was like, "Hey, I've kind of been dropping the ball on my YouTube stuff. Is it all good if I do this mega stream?" She's very, very understandingly said yes. So, but we'll go out to dinner. Um, but yeah, go out to dinner tonight, play some Mario Party. So we usually do this Mario Party tournament where we've got all 3 Mario Party games on the Switch, and we'll play the newest one, which is, I think is what, Jamboree. So we'll play all those maps, and then we play the oldest one, the middle one, and then we play the newest one again on Pro Rules. And then we add all those up, so we get points for who comes first, second, third, fourth, and then we have stars as a tiebreaker, and then we call that the Mario Party Olympics. And that's our version of. We used to play a lot of board games, but now we just kind of play Mario Party quite a lot. Love Davide on the pre and post race shows. Seems to know his stuff too. Kip2 Mike says tracks temperature starting to drop. Diogo says, I really like the DAZN Spanish commentators on F1. So F1 is on DAZN in Spain. Is that right? That's crazy. Yeah, it's Oscar's side to lose. I love Lando, but he doesn't have the mentality card just to ensure 2 weekend pressure situations. Who lose cleans the house? That's a good point. We never really put anything on it, but I guess we could. That would be interesting. I think I would crumble under the pressure. I won the Winter Olympics. She won the Spring Olympics. So we're not traveling for a while here. So we're going to have to start the Summer Olympics pretty soon. I will keep you guys informed of who is winning the F1 Fantasy Pole Position Household Mario Party Tournament as we move along here. What am I was going to do something. I can't remember. My computer is hot right now. All good, says Prince Jadit. I'll enjoy some tacos and margarita. Yeah. Yes. Matt from Matt and Tommy is wearing a Ferrari tank top. That is very interesting. Never seen him in a tank top before. But I really appreciate everyone that's sticking around here. What are we at? 48 viewers, 187 likes. So I don't think we're going to get quite to the 200, but that's okay. We had a good run. Who's going up in budget for Summer Olympics? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, she ended the Spring Olympics on like a 7-game winning streak. I absolutely crumbled. I kind of blame y'all because I was really focused on F1 fantasy. So, I was in 2 minds. But she's also very cool with me doing a cool down room race review episode tomorrow. So hopefully you guys can tune in for that. I know you guys have been around so much today for this entire stream, which has been pretty epic. So it is resuming right now, Madalena. There's 4 minutes to go. So we are gonna wrap that up. So it's the cars are back on track now. Let me put up the F1 dash. Sorry about that. So we'll be back. Let's see how we do here. So there's going to be quite a train of cars here. Green flag, time for more quality. Yes, finally. We've had 2 delays now. What is going on? I know it's hot, but yeah. I'd love to but it sucks. ESPN Plus doesn't work in Germany. Couldn't watch the quality live. This is my only way of watching on phone boarded on flight back home in Munich. Oh, Prince, you're from Munich. I am in Stuttgart. So, yes, that's interesting. I gave my DAZN account to others to watch everyone. So then which is fun. Oh, thanks, Diogo. Appreciate that. Davide splitting the votes 50-50 right down the middle. 14 votes. Very interesting. So here we are. Where did you guys go? There you are. Okay, who is kind of going on a prep lap right now? Come on, Gabby Bortz. Let's get into Q3 here. That would be pretty epic. Okay, so Behrman is on a lap. Is Albon on a lap? Did Albon go early? Or is he just not? He's just given up. He's going to just qualify P15 or whatever. It's interesting. Ooh, I was in Berlin flying home. San Francisco via Munich. Oh, nice. I come to Stuttgart often, work in Mercedes. Next time I'm there, beer on me. Oh, nice. Yes, hit me up, Prince Ajit. You can follow me on X at F1 Fantasy U and hit me up and give me a shout next time. Bortoletto P3, holy S. Damn. Yes. That's very, very fast. Behrman. I think I'm a little bit behind you, Nicholas. It looks like Gabby Bortz. Let's go, baby. That is epic. Gabby. Already doing that. Done. Perfect, Prince. Yes. Hit me up next time. Go Gabby, says Craig. Yeah, this is epic. Let's go Gabby Bortz, baby. Let's see here. So Mercedes, once again, putting us through the ringer, huh? Alonso's got green. He's got green. Come on, baby. Let's see. How's Alonso doing? Okay, Antonelli's looking okay. Russell's there. Come on, Alonso, where are we at, baby? Alonso into P8. Uh-oh. 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 I think Alonso's going to get knocked out here. Oh, Gasly is flying. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Colapinto. Oh, Gasly's got him by a lot. Wow. Colapinto's not going to make it. Nope. But where's Albon? Oof. Fernando Alonso in the dreaded P11 spot. Was a mistake to switch from Ferrari to Mercedes. Gasly Q3. Damn, Gasly. Yep, looking good, looking good. Be very interesting to see how this race pace that they had, if it comes through. We'll see how it goes. Oh, Alonso. But Russell got through, so that's okay. Dang. I wonder what happened with Alonso there. That is crazy. But great job by the Gasly managers. Good job by you. All right, now we're doing the big one. The big poll here. Who takes pole position? Norris, Piastri, or other? Let me know. Is that a glitch or Bortoleto actually 5th? My eyes. No, it is not. Last time I owned Gasly, it was also Q3 and appeared. Gaslight DNF in Saudi. Not counting my chickens yet, says Adil. Yeah, it's probably a good call. Wish I went Ferrari and Bortoleto over Merc and Sainz now. Could be good overtake points. Ivor says, are you going to do a final fix and bring Gasly in? No. I don't think so, because Hulkenberg, Alonso, Hadjar, I mean, I won't get any of Gasly's qualifying points here. So I think he'll be fine. So honestly, final fixing Bortoleto to like Sainz or something could be an option, because you'd be like, because you could get a bunch of overtakes there. I don't entirely know how much budget you'd have to go from Gabby Bortz to Sainz. You'd need 3.8 million. Let's not talk about Gasly. Every time I hear his name, -20 flashes front my eyes. Lando or Charles impeded one of the two. Incident noted. Yeah, I just heard that, Mr. Iceman. Great shout. We'll see how that goes. That'll be interesting. So, mamma mia. Yeah. Lots of stuff going on in F1 Fantasy. But yeah, man, that was epic from Bortoleto. So happy. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Lance Stroll making me a little bit nervous. Gasly will DNF in the race somehow, guys, or lose a lot of positions and not get 8 points. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, that Alpine pace was really not that strong in the qualifying. We'll see tomorrow when they do, what was it? When they do the strategy guide for, when they do the strategy guide for F1 for Sunday, they'll come up with the updated race pace. And I wonder if Alpine will pop up out of nowhere. Because Alpine had the qualifying pace, right? They had it worse than Aston Martin and Williams, and they've got car in Q3. So, race simulation pace, Alpine like dead, like way down here. So we'll see. Am I still backing Merc over Ferrari for race pace tomorrow? Have the same team as you points wise. We're so cooked. No, we're not. We're not cooked yet, Chris. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're not cooked. But am I still backing Merc over Ferrari for race pace tomorrow? Maybe not. Ferrari seem to be bringing it back a little bit. So, guys, I don't think we're gonna get to 200 likes, but we could get to 190. If you're someone around here that hasn't liked the stream, give it a little thumbs up if I answered your question over the last 3.5 hours now. That is wild. Yeah, subscribe if you're not subscribed, but I'm assuming a lot of you are. The 59 people watching are probably subscribed. So like I said, the first 3,300 are the most important 3,300. So we'll keep going. We'll keep moving along. 3,500 by the summer break. Austria, and then the UK next. So that'll be fun. I'm going to flip the calendar a little bit early so that I know what's coming up. Man, but yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Norris, Bortoleto. This Norris, Bortoleto teams are looking okay. Norris, Bortoleto, Mercedes, McLaren team are looking really good. That team has been cooking the last couple of weeks. So great job by them. 52% are saying Norris, 48% are saying Piastri, and none of y'all are saying other. Wow. No one else believes in the field. George Russell, Max Verstappen. Although Verstappen sounds super unhappy with the car. So, yeah, I can't blame him there. All right, top 10 shootout. Here we go. I am ready for this. And then I am ready for tacos. I did have this emergency prebiotic squeeze snack ready to eat if it got too much, but I've actually been okay. I had lunch about 30 minutes before I came on the stream. And yeah, we're hanging out. We're having a good time. So, and I'm probably going to demolish about 10 tacos. So, but I think this is the prettiest backdrop to any track in F1. What do we think? Any other candidates for nicer backdrops in F1? Are we like counting Vegas? Or, I mean, Vegas is just the strip. It's not exactly pretty. I guess you could say just the best backdrop in F1 to a track. Let me know what you think. Drop that in the comments if you are still around. 192 likes. We got over 190. Diogo, you are 7 likes for the 200. Come on, people. Damn, looking like a mod. Yes, Diogo. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support. You guys have been super supportive. It's been really good. Been a really good turnout. Almost at like 3,000 views. So that's pretty cool too. Appreciate that. For anyone that has come to view or hate on the channel, it's always fun. But yeah, I can't imagine how many Belgium, Eau Rouge. Yes, that's a good one. I'm going to see that in like a month's time. So I'm pretty excited. I'll be there for the sprint race. I have to figure out, I could probably do some like YouTube live thing, huh? So, but I also really need to charge my phone because it's about to die. That's what happens when you watch a live stream of a sport. Joe says, it's a great track. I was there in 2019. Seeing snow on mountains and the Red Bull Air Show was epic. Nice, nice. It's on the list. The rising temperatures just make McLaren stronger. The only thing that stops McLaren from taking pole is McLaren. That is true. 57% of people are taking Norris to take pole position. So since we don't even have any cars on track, are they all just doing one run or are we doing 2 runs? Once I see the first car out on track, I'm going to end the poll. So we'll just keep it there. Well, Monaco for backdrop. Ooh, great shout, Prince Sajid. 55, 38, 7% for other. If you say other, let me know who you think can take it. Do you think it's Verstappen? Do you think it's Russell? Do you think it's Leclerc? So we will see. We will see. Oh, I just tapped the top of my mic. Hopefully that was okay. Sorry about that. Weather. Oh, it's like a whole weather thing. I haven't really played around with this all that much. All right, ending the poll right now. 53% Norris, 37% Piastri. We are go. Thunderbirds are go right now. Oh, this is like way early for me. How far behind am I on the stream? Oh. Cycling the Monaco track was pretty cool, says Craig. Yeah, I've actually walked through the tunnel to the Monaco Grand Prix. That's kind of cool too. So, yeah, I like that quite a bit. You woke me up with that. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. I went 3.5 hours without tapping it, and then I do it right there at the end. My bad. So, oh man. Let's see. So yeah, everyone's gonna get 2 runs in here for sure. So 8.5 minutes left. It's not too bad. Okay, here we go. Whew. So I think what will happen here is when we get done with this, I'll just be like, oh my God, that was epic. And then I'll just say, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you next time because that will be tomorrow. Yeah. I was in Miami Grand Prix this year. Can't speak about backdrop, but the atmosphere was amazing. That's so cool. Yeah. I've never made it to an American race, but hopefully one time, considering that's really where home base is. So Denver, Colorado is where my wife and I got married. Well, really Estes Park, Colorado, but yeah. Sorry, I forgot to hold up my sarcasm bar with that Gasly comment. Yeah. Oh, sorry. This comment, Ivor. My bad. My bad. Yes. Yeah. It's been a long day. I already bought some same seat for next year. Nice. Nice. Norris looks pretty epic. Not gonna lie. Norris is looking pretty good, pretty strong. Oof. Damn, Lando. Verstappen is 6/10 off. Holy moly. Whoa, Leclerc. Already thinking ahead for Belgium, playing extra DRS? Maybe. That's not a bad shout, Dan. Gasly P1, stop the count. Oh, that's insane. Connor, my wife and I met in Estes Park, Colorado, and now live in England. That's crazy. Yeah, we got married in Estes Park. So that was 8 years ago. Perfect. Need to turn off phone, try and stick in another 5 minutes before flight takes off. No worries, Prince Ajit. Thank you for tuning in while you can. So Russell in P5. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But have a safe flight. But yeah, Connor, that's crazy. Crazy times. Crazy coincidence. There was someone in the chat a couple of streams ago that was from like, I was born in like Aberdeen, Scotland, and they were like, oh, I'm from a town very not far from there. I was like, that is wild. So it's always a small world. Oh no, Russell noted for an unsafe release. Oh boy, here we go again. Police officer Verstappen to the max. What is going on here? Okay, I'm gonna restart my stream here because it's lagging quite a bit. Or the F1 stream I'm watching on, not this one. Thanks, for trying on Mega Stream. Thank you. Yes, it's been quite epic. Yes, thanks for the stream. Yes, thank you. But yeah, I don't know. Is Verstappen going to get popped for that or not? Russell, is he going to get? Can't tell. That would be not so good. Man. Alrighty, let's try this again. Let's see if I can get this video going a little bit stronger here. because it is lagging a little bit, which is unfortunate because I want to be able to talk to y'all live as it's happening. So let's see here. But yes, 57% of y'all said Lando was going to take pole, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, man, it has been quite a stream. I've had a great time. So, would I final fix into Norris from Piastri if Norris takes pole? Maybe if Piastri falls down the order here a little bit, but the race pace should be good enough that he can overtake at least the Ferraris. Like if he dropped down a little bit further, I don't know, Mitchell. We'll see. I think if it's a big enough conundrum, then Ryder might put out his another final fix kind of thing that he does. So, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't think I would, but yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Crazier things have happened, like putting Aston Martin into your constructor slot. Oh, wait, that was me. I already did that one. Okay, cool. Good job by me. But take a little bit of the licks now for some budget, and hopefully it all comes back. Let's see here. What do we got? All right, Verstappen, still a little bit off the pace. Let's see here. Who's going to take it, y'all? Drop it in the chat, and then we will rock and roll. Russell with a personal best, or... Okay. Oof. Gasly. Naughty, naughty. So Leclerc went purple as well? Norris looking mighty strong. Is he gonna go again? How's Russell looking here? Let's see. I don't think Russell's gonna make it. No. No. Oof, man, that is brutal. Norris is absolutely flying. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh my goodness, Lando is absolutely on it. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, wow. 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 Lawson P6, that's crazy. Gasly P10, Borletto P9, Antonelli P8, Verstappen P7, Lawson P6, Russell P5, Ham P4, Piastri P3, Leclerc P2, Norris P1. So that was it. That was the whole quali. And that was it for me. Because I'm going to get back. I'm going to get out of here so I can regain my breath. And yeah, see how it goes. Bortoletto moves up to PA and Antonelli. But seriously, y'all, that was amazing. I can't imagine doing that again anytime soon, but it was super fun. So once again, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you tomorrow. And yeah, I'll talk to you next time.